sing along.
Yeah.
Just look at the size of that burrito. Bonkers.
It's not about that Monday, Tuesday. No one cares about Wednesday. Thursday. Are you ready for the weekend?
Come on.
Are you ready for the rear end? Are you ready for the weekend?
Ow!
Are you ready for the rear end? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, trash. Thursday, Friday, forget about that. Friday, Saturday, Saturday, Sunday, sleeping in, eating brunch.
I let you hot. Show him what I got.
Change my pitch up. Smash my bitch up.
Sure, hit the mall. Go out with friends, do nothing at all. In watch movies, read books. Anything goes, just take a look. Are you ready for the weekend? Yeah. Are you ready for the rear end? Go. Are you ready for the weekend? Yeah. Are you ready for the rear end?
Come on.
Are you ready for the weekend? Yeah. Are you ready for the rear end? Go. Are you ready for the weekend? Yeah. Are you ready for the rear end? Go. Are you ready for the weekend? Yeah. Are you ready for the rear end? Go.
Is it worth it? Let me work it. I put my thing down, flip it, then reverse it. Ting na 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 na. If you got a big, let me search you to find how hard I'm gonna work you. Come on.
Klein Alley Show. 106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous KROQ.
Thank God it's Friday.
Come on. Good morning. Welcome to KROQ. How the hell goes it? Welcome to your weekend.
That put me in such a good mood already.
It's not just you, Allie. It's all over the place. Who knew? Who knew what this would become in less than 24 hours? And I'm not excited about it, but
And what it still has yet to become.
people seem very excited. They said that even people that are heading to Coachella said, I don't even think real Coachella can match up with the excitement I experienced listening to Klein attempt to do Missy Misdemeanor Elliott.
Hey guys, Sweet Dibs. I was just listening to the podcast with Klein singing Missy Elliott, and I am crying because I am laughing so hard. You have to play that sound all the time now. It's just the best. Come on. Love you guys. Bye.
All right, relax. Just everyone calm down for a second. It was fine. We don't need to do it again.
No, it's great work.
All right. Come on.
So good, man.
Just like
Oh
her.
my God, guys. Can we please make Tone Deaf a permanent segment on the show? Klein singing Missy Elliott is probably the highlight of my week. Come on.
All right, great. Everyone's having a good time.
Somebody had texted late in the show yesterday that you should be called Kevin Mr. Beat Misdemeanor Klein.
Mr. Beat.
That's awesome.
I did miss a beat, that's for sure.
Mr. Beat Misdemeanor.
Anyway, today we got lots for you. Coachella tickets will be in your future. Sure, we can do that for you. TikTok apparently is about to be banned again tomorrow, so we'll bring back some TikTok-toe and figure out who is the greatest expert. Everyone on TikTok, as you know, is an expert in whatever they claim to be an expert in. Today, it's everything from how to stay in a happy relationship to how to make a grilled cheese. We'll get into all of that coming up later this morning, and a bunch of other things that we can't even tell you about just yet. But surprises are every twist and turn. Come on.
Come on. It's funny because I feel like TikTok has just become the dumping ground for every random food hack that you invented in college when you were high.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, let me make like this burger, but I'll put mayonnaise on the grill.
Well, this guy's got such confidence the way he speaks, and he is such an expert.
Making your grilled cheese all wrong. Let's do it the right way. This is going to blow your mind, I'm telling you.
And I'm already locked in. I'm like, I've been making my grilled cheese all wrong. Well, what the hell am I doing?
But then you can go to another TikTok channel and find out that you're making that one all wrong, doing it like that guy, because you should be doing it like this girl.
Guy's got a good hook, so we'll get into that coming up a little bit later this morning as well, and lots to give you. So we'll send you to Universal and send you to Coachella and give you some cash. Pick Your Poison Friday with Allie Knows the News. We'll do some Johnny Doesn't Know. Lots going on. It's a jam-packed show. You can listen. We like that, but you can also watch us because we're streaming live on YouTube right now. Don't believe us? Head to YouTube, KROQ's YouTube page, and you can see us there.
Come on.
In the flesh. news on your Friday morning here at KROQ, and then we'll find out if you know the news for $100 of Allie's money. You can get on the phones now if you want in. 800-520-1067. 5 questions about stuff going on in the world. You can battle anyone on the show. You can take on Allie over there. Keep it old school. You can go against me. If you'd like to, I say to you, come on, because you will not possibly. That's what I said.
Come on.
Yeah, apparently it's been.
Is it worth it? Let me work it. I put my thing down, flip it, then reverse it. If you got a pig, let me search it to find how hard I'm gonna work you. Come on.
I've been produced now officially.
Oh,
How did you make him on beat?
I don't know.
I had to space him out. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Anyway,
I'll
be selling my mixtape in the parking lot here at KROQ after the show today. If you'd like to load up on that.
It's
We got
just that one song.
$100 up for grabs. Battle anyone on the show every morning around this time, but Friday is a little special because it is a Pick Your Poison Friday. And quickly, I just want to play this message that was waiting on the GOAT line, and then we'll get into the game and give away some money. Also, your Coachella tickets coming up later this morning. We'll tell you exactly what you have to do to get them. Will not be as difficult as it has been throughout the week. I guess the only thing you have to do today is listen to every word we say for the next 3 hours. Everything that happens on this show could be a clue. And at 9 o'clock, we will invite you to join us for something that we are calling Showchella. It is a quiz about today's show, which means you could have never listened to us before ever. But starting right now, every single thing that happens on this show could end up as a question. If you listen intently and you're ready to call just after 9 o'clock, you could score yourself some actual Coachella tickets just by answering questions correctly about the show. These questions are not impossible.
No, even if you half listen, I think you'll probably get it.
Yeah, even if you quarter listen or just follow along on the socials, potentially you'll get all the answers you need, but your best chance to win would be to listen, watch, and then call in just after 9 o'clock. Allie, wanted you to hear this song because I think it'll put you in a little bit of a good mood. Maybe
I'm
not.
already in a great mood.
This will put you in a better mood.
Hey guys, so just heard yesterday's show overtime and about to listen to today's show, but just wanted to say I've been listening to the Klein and Allie show for a year now on my way to work, and then I'll catch the podcast after work.
That's a real one right there. Listens live on the way in and catches up on the pod on the way home.
I would listen. I got hooked on your show. Basically, the way that happened is I had to do a rental car one day.
It's always the story. No one finds us on purpose. It's always an accidental,
when you're down and out,
last-ditch effort when nothing else works. And when I say that story, people say, oh, my God, that's how I found you guys. I also was in a rental car and my phone was dead. But
there was no way to sync up my phone, so I would just listen to the radio on my way to work, and the station that I had the preset to was a Woody show. I would just be on autopilot in the morning until 2 weeks in. I was like, what the hell am I listening to? And started to go through channels until I landed on KROQ. I don't remember what you guys were talking about at the time, but I do remember laughing so hard the first time I had to legit pull over.
First time a guy listened, had a legit pull over, laughing that hard. Made the move, never looked back. Think of all the obstacles, all the hurdles, all the luck we had to get through to get this guy to listen to our show.
Yeah,
all the ripped off bits.
All of our bits that were being ripped off down the street.
Right.
I know.
But you had to hear first
and then he's like,
terribly.
what am I listening to? I should listen to the original version.
Yeah, this is so much funnier listening on KROQ.
So I obviously didn't know who Kevin and Bean were. So when I heard Kevin Ryder was back, I thought you guys were doing a bit saying Kevin the Night Rider was back.
Oh.
Not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed that the Night Rider didn't come back.
Oh, well,
I am disappointed in Kevin
the Night Rider.
He's not back, unfortunately. That was my old radio alter ego. He's dead now.
Kevin the Night Rider.
Kevin the Night Rider never would have performed Missy Misdemeanor Elliott. There's Kevin the Night Rider, as you can tell. That guy's full of energy and full of balls.
But it seems like everyone's happy Kevin Ryder's back. So yeah, I just wanted to say love the show and so glad you guys didn't get fired.
All right, thank you for that. What a nice message.
626 said, good morning, family. Are we over Kevin's return song yet? I'm very happy for him, but you guys have been ramming it down our throats all week.
Yes, well, listen, it's a big deal. Kevin Ryder back at KROQ is a huge deal.
Of course.
I don't think we're going to be playing that song again anytime soon, but if you'd like $100 of Allie's money, call us now.
KROQ. Guess who's back? What? Back again. Woohoo! Kevin's back.
Find that hard to believe.
Got no friends. Kevin's back. 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 KROQ. Wow, 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 wow. KROQ. Wow, 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 wow.
She's a spaghetti girl.
We've created
a monster. Nobody listens to KROQ no more. They laid off everybody that was here. But if you want KROQ, this is what we'll give you. Mediocrity and Klein. When he was last here, ratings dropped fast, a lot quicker than my stocks when he got locked out of KROQ's kitchen. Guess what? Kevin's back. Na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Fix your Bentatana tuna, turn it up a little. You waited this long, never say never. Kevin's back and introducing the Red Hot Chili Peppers. We gave him a job, a new endeavor, but he ain't too smart and he ain't very clever. So the FCC just lets him be, cause they cannot understand what he's saying. They tried to shut him down, ha ha ha. We put Kevin back on the frequency. Well, we tried to reach out to Bean, but he wouldn't return our calls, you see, cause we're all bankrupt. Odyssey, and put Kevin back on the frequency. Well, we need a little controversy, so everybody just follow our lead and pretend you are kind of happy that Kevin's back on the frequency. KROQ, what did we do? What did we do? KROQ.
That song ended. That ended. So now we're going to talk. That's over. That is over. You dumbass.
Kevin Ryder's back. Weekdays from 3 to 7 on
KROQ.
Goddamn, since listening to these songs that were recorded yesterday for Tone Deaf for Coachella, I realize it's just easier to buy tickets. At this point, it's just easier to just go buy tickets, even if you have to pay more than they would be face value. Because to win them from us at KROQ, which, of course, the incentive for us is you listen, you interact with the show, you leave here with a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You're at Coachella, courtesy of your friends here at KROQ, Klein Alley Show. That's great. But after hearing these versions of songs, they are done so badly that the artists that are going to be performing these real songs in the desert at Coachella, this could actually have the power to ruin some of your favorite songs. I'm just warning you.
Do you think this is ruining a classic song?
I'm that bitch. Yeah, been that bitch. Still that bitch. I will forever be that bitch.
You know, the problem is that Vanessa is not great with tone. I also suffer from the tone deaf, which is why if I'm ever at a concert and you see me there, you'll never see me singing along. I respect the people around me too much to ever try to belt out the lyrics of the songs to compete with the lead singer on stage. When Billy Joe's up there singing Green Day at Coachella, I'm not going to be trying to out-sing Billy Joe.
Yeah, you're just there bobbing your head off beat.
That's right. That's right. Off to the side. No, not in anyone's way. Don't you worry about me. It's time for Tone Deaf for Coachella. Everybody who's able to correctly predict the songs that are being performed by Vanessa or myself, Allie's going to write your name down, and one of you will leave here with actual tickets to Coachella. Unless no one gets theirs right, in which case you'll just be lucky enough to be a caller 20 situation. So here we go. Let's say hi to Kaya from Echo Park. Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you for being here on KROQ. Thank you for starting your day with us. Let's give you just a sampling. There's a lot of bands, a lot of groups, a lot of artists that will be at Coachella. We've attempted to do our best versions of these songs.
And some of them, to be fair, even though you're tone deaf, they don't even have notes in them. They're just rapping.
Right. So just
and you
don't
still can't really
judge us accordingly. All right. Here's the first one. If you're able to figure out what song this is, or better yet, which artist this is that will be at Coachella.
We need both song and artist.
Song and artist. All right.
Sure.
Here we go. Kayla, you're up on the clock first. Here we go. My baby want a Birkin. She's been telling me all night long. Gasoline and groceries. The list goes on and on. This 9 to 5 ain't working. Why the hell I work so hard? I can't worry about my problems. I can't take them when I'm gone. Oh, one. That's enough, I think.
Oh,
Crap,
one.
That's enough.
That's so much of the song and still so unclear.
That is an artist that will be at Coachella. Any idea who that artist is and what that song is?
Oh my God, Shabuzi.
And the song is called
Bar song?
Then to the 2, to the 3, to the 4. Tell them, bring another round. We need plenty more. Two-stepping on the table. She don't need a dance floor. Oh good Lord. That sounds the same to me. You got it. Similar.
Not at all.
Very similar. Ain't working.
How the hell do I work so hard?
She got it right. Good job.
You know what's crazy is I've heard that song so many times, and I know exactly the part you're singing, and I still couldn't figure it out.
All right, well, I think they sounded the same, right, Kaya?
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Thank you. Hold on one
No,
second.
it
She's a
wasn't.
step closer to Coachella tickets. My baby want a Birkin. All right. Thank you.
The Birkin.
Let's say hi.
Sounds so like perverted.
It's trying to do
One guy turned on by a Birkin.
Yeah.
trying to do country.
So weird.
Jake, good morning. Welcome to Tone Deaf for Coachella. You ready to win your way in?
Good morning. I'm ready.
All right, here we go. If you can identify the song and the artist that will be at Coachella based on a version I've done or Vanessa's done, you could potentially be at Coachella. Here we go.
Change my pitch up. Smash my bitch up.
I wish we could change her pitch up for sure. Hold on.
We can pitch it down, probably.
Change my pitch up. Smash my bitch up. Smash my bitch up. Smash my bitch up. I need to do the instrument.
All right, so
good.
Do the instrument.
Jake, any guesses as to which Coachella artist and what song that is?
Oh, God. That is something I've never heard before.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
I know.
Even the lyrics you should get.
I mean,
Yeah.
yes, but it's so different from the original that I could understand why that would be tricky. So, Jake, you're going to hang up on yourself?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
Yeah.
This is what she was attempting to do. Prodigy right there?
Sing. Change my pitch up. Smash my bitch up.
Kind of the same.
The same fervor, the same out of 10.
Same words.
Same words.
Only one person has gotten theirs right so far, and
Means we just have to do a bunch more.
the listener. And I don't think we're out of time.
No, we're
so let's bring on Kevin Ryder. Goodbye.
Ah.
All right, we move on and say hello to contestant number 3 from the 310. Welcome to your chance to go to Coachella. You've come this close. Tickets, 3-day tickets, weekend one. It's a song that you should know. At least I hope you'll know. Take a listen and let's see how you do with this. Is this Kaylee?
Yep.
Good morning. Are you ready to go?
I hope so.
All right. This is a Coachella artist, headliner even. Here we go.
Twiddle my thoughts or just a bit. I'm sick of all the same old S in a house with unlocked doors, and I'm effing lazy. Bite my lips and close my eyes. Take me away to paradise. I'm so damn bored, I'm going blind, and I smell like ass.
All right. That is a, believe it or not, a Coachella headliner as
That sounds
performed
so sad.
by Vanessa. Yeah, that song, I didn't realize was such a sad song
I
until hearing it that
know.
one. What song, which band is that?
That is Longview by Green Day.
Nice job. Same.
Good job. Good job, Kaylee. That's Kaylee. Kaylee got hers right as well. Green Day will be at Coachella, and hopefully you'll be there, which means 2 people have gotten theirs right. We go to Anaheim and say hi to Michael right now. Tone deaf for Coachella. Good morning, Michael.
Woo! Morning.
Here we go. You are on the clock. Don't screw this up. This could be your whole future.
Is it worth it? Let me work it. I put my thing down, flip it, never reverse it. Ting na 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 na. If you got a big, let me search you to find how hard I'm gonna work you. Ting na 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 na. Ting na 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 na. Come on.
Come on.
Come on. You got a little shabuzi back in there.
Yeah.
Michael, any idea who that was?
That's got to be a rendition of "Work It" by Missy Elliott.
There you go.
Is it worth it? Let me work it.
Were you even trying?
Is that a joke, Omar? Was I trying? Yeah, I was trying. I was doing it perfect.
Oh, my God.
All right, Michael, good job. Hold on.
That part definitely doesn't sound like a shana-na-na-na or whatever you did.
Allie, honestly,
Is it worth it? Let me work it. I put my thing down, flip it, then reverse it. Ting na ma na ma na na.
that is almost the same thing. It's like a beat match almost.
Shama now.
All right, so 3 have gotten theirs right. We'll give one more person a chance here.
You don't have to sound so upset that we're doing this.
Well, I don't like it. Gotcha. Loud and clear. Nice message right there. If you need us, you can always call us live. We're here in the flesh, 800-520-1067. You can use the GO line like that woman always does, 844-956-GOAT. We got the Allie Knows the News to get to in just a moment. $100 of her cash is up for grabs every morning right around this time. This was a very dramatic week for Allie Knows the News because not only did she pay some people, and a couple of people did get paid this week, also there's been controversy about a question that was asked, I think, on Monday. Here we are on Friday. The controversy just will not die.
Sweet divots. Hopefully the last thing on this Joey Gladstone. I think what we can all agree on is it was a terrible question for Allie Knows the News. Thanks a lot, Klein. Fancy boy.
So everyone's still upset about the question about Uncle Joey, a.k.a. Dave Coulier, being cancer-free and how he was referred to as Uncle Joey, even though he technically was not an uncle. And there's been a huge debate raging on as to whether or not he was an uncle or not.
Hey, guys, I'm going to need you all to cut it out with all of this not Uncle Joey, yes, he's Uncle Joey, not Uncle Joey talk. I mean, come on already. Please, thank you, sweet divots.
All right,
Yes.
enough. No need to work that in.
I love that every call has that as the sign off.
Jesus Christ. Let's get into it. It's a brand new round of Allie Knows the News. If you're new to the show, perhaps you've never heard this before. Maybe you're back to KROQ for the first time in a while, as Derek claims he is. Good morning, Derek.
Hey, good morning.
What brings you back to KROQ?
Scanning through the stations, I heard Kevin's back on, so I'm back.
Yeah, unfortunately for
Welcome
you,
back.
it's not right now. You're stuck with this Kevin, a different Kevin, but he'll be on in the afternoon. He'll have more Coachella tickets. The return of Kevin Ryder, and that means the return of Derek as well. 5 questions will be in your future. You can battle anyone on the show. All you got to do is answer these questions first, and if you do better than one of us, you get $100 of Allie's money. Who do you want to take on today?
I'll go up against you, Klein.
Oh, it's going to take me on.
He's taking on a Kevin.
Sure you want
Come on.
Bring it on.
You sure you want a piece of that?
Are you sure you want to?
I'm going to leave the KROQ studios.
He's going to take his chances.
He's like, your chances.
Yeah, I will.
I will leave. Allie will ask the questions. This is a DIY theme song, Allie, inspired by your upcoming trip to the Grand Canyon. Then I'll get the hell out of here.
She's gonna go to the Grand Canyon and she's ready to carry her poo. Let's find out if Allie knows it is.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
I'm not carrying my own.
Come
poop.
on.
All
All right, another one. God damn it. Enough. I get it.
You will never escape it.
One time.
Come on.
To be clear, it's a communal poop can. It's not an individual poop
So much
can.
worse. I'm going to
All right,
leave
Klein,
now.
get out of here.
I'm getting out of here. You can start the questions, and here we go.
All right.
Allie Knows the News.
Derek, as Klein said, I'm going to give you 5 questions. You answer them as quickly as you can, and then I will get Klein back in here and ask him the same 5 questions. If you do better than he does, you get $100. Question number 1. A Dodgers star pitcher is the latest to have his home burglarized. Though the break-in happened in his Seattle home, what is the name of this all-star pitcher? Derek, are you there?
I don't know.
Don't know. Question 2. This classic Hollywood actor held a moment of silence at CinemaCon for his late co-star Val Kilmer. Which actor just held a moment of silence for Val Kilmer?
Uma Thurman.
Uma Thurman. Interesting. Question 3. Subway has released a new $5 footlong, but it's not a sandwich. What is it?
The pretzel. The churro. I don't know.
A $5 pretzel and or churro. Question 4. This California city is officially the healthiest in the country, probably from all the uphill walking.
San Francisco.
All right. Question 5. Bruce Willis's daughter just admitted to this weird bathing habit. What is the weird bathing habit that rumor Willis has admitted to?
Sunbathing.
Come on, Derek. Come on. Come on. No answer?
Come on.
Tomato paste bathing. I don't know.
Bathing in tomato paste. At least I had an interesting answer out of you. Okay, let's bring Klein back in. Derek, I'm going to say for the first Allie Knows the News, you didn't do great. But
I
let's.
didn't do good at all. No.
Yeah. But come on in, Klein. And let's see if Klein can do better than you. It's not like you.
Let's play in his walking music.
Oh, there
he is.
Come on.
All right, I'm already here.
Hi,
I don't
Klein.
need the walking music. Thank you. Good vibe.
Oh, let's play the Klein's Already Here music.
Come on.
No, I just want him to leave and come back again.
All right.
All right. Question
Let's go.
number one.
How was
Derek did, he didn't get nothing, but you can beat him if you get your head in the right place. All right. Question number one. A Dodger star pitcher is the latest to have his home burglarized. I didn't know. All right. Well, that's incorrect.
Oh, well, I thought you were going to ask where his home was.
No, I was going to ask the name of this pitcher.
Oh, Snell.
All right. That's correct. Derek had no answer.
All right.
On that one, he said he had
Klein
no
got
idea.
it wrong.
Klein did technically get it wrong.
He did.
So I'll say that there's it's a tie game 0-0.
Your money, Allie, it's your money you have to pay. I can't believe you're going to say I got it wrong. That's fine. Great. I'll throw the rest of the questions.
Klein, I don't want to spoil it, but I think you'll be fine.
All right. Go ahead. Question 2. I'm ready.
Question 2. This classic Hollywood actor just held a moment of silence at CinemaCon for his late co-star, Val Kilmer.
Tom Cruise.
That's correct. And Derek did not get that one right. He said Uma Thurman. So it's 1-0. Klein's in the lead. Question 3. Subway's released a new $5 footlong, but it's not a sandwich. What is it?
Nachos. Doritos
That's
nachos.
correct. So that's 1 for Klein, and he got at least a solid guess on that. A $5 footlong pretzel, which would be awesome,
Oof,
but
that is
not
good.
correct.
I think they do serve that. But I don't think it's
Question
$5.
4. This California city is officially the healthiest in the country.
Healthiest in the country. California City. Berkeley?
No, close. San Francisco is the correct answer. And actually, Derek got that one right.
Wow,
so it's
Derek.
2-1. With this final question, Bruce Willis's daughter, Rumor, just admitted to this weird bathing habit. What is it?
How is that news? Bruce Willis's daughter's bathing habit is news?
Uh-huh. Saw this everywhere yesterday. Maybe it's just my algorithm.
Because you don't bathe, so you always try to find other people that don't bathe.
It's not bathing, but it is weird.
She does sit down showers.
That's you.
That's you,
I
man.
know, I do that. Come on, sit down showers. Come on.
Incorrect. And Derek didn't get that either. It doesn't matter. You still won 2-1.
Hey,
but
all right.
Rumor Willis admitted that she still bathes with her adult sisters.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
That is very White Lotus of them, huh?
I know.
All right,
I
well,
told you, 2025 is the year of incest.
Derek, thanks for coming back to KROQ. Unfortunately, you came back as a loser. What must you shamefully admit? Go ahead.
I'm back listening to KROQ in the morning. Not shamefully admitting that, but I don't know the news. I'll admit that.
We'll go with that one. Thank you.
Thanks, Derek.
Hey, Green Day will be at Coachella. Did you hear the news? Yes, you did. You will be at Coachella as well. Listen to every word we say this morning for the Showchella quiz. Could score your tickets to see this band. Later this morning on the show, you will hear Allie attempt to hit on a robot. There's a new feature that allows you to determine if you have got good game. You get to flirt with AI technology.
It's called the Game. It's on Tinder.
And they will let you know if you have game at all. And here's just a sample of what we can look forward to. It was Allie flirting with a lesbian robot.
So what kind of music are you into? I gotta say, I got a soft spot for those indie acoustic sets, you know?
Oh, yeah, me too. I actually work for a radio station, and I have the pleasure of...
Not interested. What a terrible way to lead.
Swipe left.
I mean, Allie goes into some rambling story here. I can't believe this is part of you flirting, but I mean...
Oh, yeah, me too. I actually work for a radio station, and I have the pleasure of being front row to some of those events. And I would say, intimate events are some of the best ones out there, way better than some of the big shows, festivals, and things like that, because you get a real one-on-one experience that's kind of unforgettable.
And then she ran away.
She did not. I'm just making a good, genuine conversation. I'm talking about her
That sounds awesome.
Yep.
So, all right, well, we'll get to it later.
That sounds awesome.
How did we do hitting on actual robots? You'll get to determine and then judge us. Here's a question. I was offered what I consider a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And that opportunity involves us allowing someone to come and move into our house, live with us, our family.
Is this a family member?
Nope. It is supposedly, and I don't want to brag here, but my children go to public school. And the public school they go to, I guess, has some sort of a exchange program. Not with another kid, because who the hell wants that? But with a
foreign exchange student?
Teacher from the school that is looking to visit America, and all they need to do is, quote, you got to give them a room.
What country? What country are they coming
All
from?
right, it's a good question. I found out. Sweden.
That's hot country.
Hot country.
So I wrote to so they sent
Swedish teacher, they just come in and they're like, I don't know, maybe I'll service all of you. That's what you do in America.
I got the email, and it said, please, we still need a few homes for these Swedish teachers. If you're willing to offer up your home, they would like to come and stay, live for a month kind of over the course of the summer.
What do you get, though?
So, great question. I assume if they're coming to stay with me, that's like free babysitting, maybe some laundry.
Well, because there are a lot of foreign exchange students that will stay with families, babysit, kind of be like an au pair in order for the opportunity to stay.
Right.
And my mom actually did this with 2 foreign exchange students, but she got money.
No, they made it very clear. There is no money, and also it would be on me, my responsibility to show them around a little bit, show them some of the best things that LA has to offer. Now, for me, that's like the In-N-Out by the airport. I mean, there's a couple of things I would show them. I don't know
about Los Angeles. I'm sure that those are the first things they want to
I would
experience.
Take them vintage sneaker shopping on Melrose.
I want to see the Hollywood sign or the Walk of Fame or anything.
No, I'm not wasting any time with that crap.
The In-N-Out burger by the airport.
Yeah, I've got some places I would take them. I would take them over to Mel's to see our picture where we replaced the Diddy picture. There's
Prince
some
Street Pizza.
Of course, Prince Street. Take them to a few pizza places, but I would not, probably do the stuff they would want to do.
They'll be like 900 pounds by the time they go back to Sweden.
Here you go. Where did you live? Don't worry, this guy likes to eat. But the problem, this is where I think that I may have shot myself in the foot, is I was attempting to forward the email to my wife to say, let's do it. I think it's probably a hot Swedish teacher. And instead of me sending that email to my wife, I responded to the whole group.
No.
Which I think is the entire school community.
Is it all of LAUSD?
I don't think all of LAUSD, but I think it was all of that school. And that was my response. Let's do it.
Is your wife mortified?
Oh, yeah. She thinks that I am a giant embarrassment yet again. But the reality is I think now I have been allowed to even host a teacher because that was my reaction.
Absolutely.
But I was thinking selfishly, and I don't know if anyone's ever had good experiences, because you always hear from people that are like, we've done this every year and it's always a great experience, but there's got to be terrible experiences people have had where they open their home to a foreign exchange, whatever, and then
psychopath.
And then they end up like killing the family cat or something.
Well, one of the people, so my mom did this with 2 students at the same time.
I bet she did.
One of them,
go.
They were both women. One of them just kind of stayed in her room. She went to school. She lived her life. The other one, because it was like her ticket to America to go wild. and she ended up never coming home. She eventually got some random boyfriend that she had met online and went to go like live with him. And then the girl's parents kept calling my mom, wondering where she was, and my mom had no idea. It was a bunch of drama.
See, I'm open to the drama concept. I was just thinking, is it great if you have
But they could rob?
Well, right. There's a lot of thoughts of things that could go wrong. But who knows if they're vetted or not, too. But you're in L.A.,
You don't know if you're getting a great, hardworking foreign exchange student or, in this case, teacher, somebody who really wants to take in the culture and learn, or somebody who's like, hey, crime tourism opportunity.
So I'm torn. I think, unfortunately, I've just taken myself out of the equation because of my response. But, I tried to.
So what are you asking then? You're not even. This isn't even an opportunity anymore.
The opportunity is if they can't get any volunteers to take them, because apparently they need.
I'll take them.
6 teachers. I think you have to have a kid in the school. Actually, maybe not. Maybe I'll send them to your way.
Send them, send the Swedish lady to me.
I was going to say it'd be great if we could offer up a spot here. We could put a little air mattress down in the KROQ studio.
For the Swedish teacher?
We could just have a Swedish exchange teacher living here in the KROQ studio.
She lived in the Jake Shack.
So she'd be like, America's terrible.
This is not happy.
We got to take a quick break. When we get back, though, we got your actual news to get to. Oh, here we go. We hosted a foreign exchange student from Europe, and it was an absolute nightmare.
Wow.
Okay. Well, that's not a good sign.
Grow the show. Turn them into a Klein Alley Show listener.
All right. Now, finally, some decent advice here. You think you'll get her fat. Think of all the chocolate she'll bring you from Sweden and those fish, Klein. You're the one who's going to get fat.
Oh, yeah.
I like that, too. Racist Allie has no idea what country. The accent does not fit. Well, there you go.
Yes, it does.
You got to take a break. We'll be back with your news. Every dumb thing we say this morning on the show could be the answer to a question you'll hear after 9 o'clock that could score you Coachella tickets. So listen intently, and we return with more show next.
Klein Alley, Klein Alley Show. KROQ, the world famous KROQ. KROQ.
Yesterday, Klein, by the way, was like, well, we shouldn't even do that.
Guys.
We're doing all this commercial stuff and tone deaf. It doesn't even make sense. I'm like, what are you doing?
It doesn't even make sense anymore. I'm like, since when did we care about making sense?
It made sense when we were giving away Deftones tickets a month ago because we did Tone Deaf for Deftones.
I know, but when it's funny, it doesn't have to make sense.
It's not funny.
Yes,
this makes sense.
Shut up.
Come on.
You have to be able to appreciate this in some way.
Alex,
come on.
Alex, come on. You're up, girl.
Omar, you're not allowed to use this.
Come on.
Oh, God.
And that is going to be my new favorite drop.
Alex,
come on.
I just feel like picture Klein shaking his hips every
Shut
time.
up. Alex, are you there?
I'm here.
All right.
I can't stop laughing. But I'm here.
All right, please make this one of the Vanessa ones, for the love of Christ. This is
Come on. There's so many more of you. Play the clip. Come on.
This is another Tone Deaf. These will all be at Coachella. I bet you all these artists are canceling now. Here we go.
I wanna roll with him, a hard play like we be. A little gambling is fun, I'll see you with me. Russian roulette is not the same without a gun. And baby, when it's love, it's not enough, I want a fun. Oh, ooh, oh, 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 ooh, oh, 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 I let you hot, show him what I got.
Oh, I love it.
Come on.
Alex, any idea what song and artist that is?
That is Lady Gaga.
There
for
you
sure.
go. What song?
Ooh, I don't know the song.
Oh, so
Klein, do you
close.
want to sing the hook?
I can't sing the hook because that would be too
Come on,
obvious.
I want to roll with him, a hot pair we will be.
Sam.
I love it.
All right. Enough of this. Oh. Pop, 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 pop. All right.
Show him what I have.
She takes a long time to get to it. It's like, blah, blah, lady. Lady, blah, blah. That's just hard.
Come on, Klein.
Congratulations. That Coachella is going to be fun. All right, Allie. I wish we could. I'm going to play this next one anyway, but you have to pick from the people that have already gotten through. I mean, What the hell?
Okay.
Hold on. I'll give one more person a chance. I got one more with Vanessa here, I think. I hope this isn't another one of mine, for the love of Christ.
I think that's the end of your road.
Oh, thank God. Here, is this the Vanessa one? Hold on. Here it is. You know what? Let's just call it a day.
I got it.
Oh, you do? Great. All right. Let me get the next contestant on. Tony Palm. Here we go. Tony, here you go. Listen closely. Here it is, Tony.
All right, here we go.
I'm that bitch. Yeah, been that bitch. Still that bitch. I will forever be that bitch. Forever be that bitch. Yeah.
All right, you know who that is?
What a
Tony.
potty mouth.
Tony, that is someone that will be at
Oh my
Coachella.
God! I'm gonna say that's BN Timbaland. I'm that bitch.
No,
that is not right.
That's not correct.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. Well,
Vanessa sings a lot of this one.
Hey, yeah. Acting stupid. What's happening? Bitch, wow.
Great. All right. Well, 3 people were able to get through all of that nonsense and get the right answers. It was Michael in Anaheim. It was Kylie in Los Angeles, and in Echo Park, Kaya. 3 of them, Allie. One of them will end with tickets. You have to do this randomly now as you drop your pen. Which name will get the tickets and go to Coachella?
Michael!
Michael, you've done it. Congratulations.
No way!
That is
Come on.
All right. Come on to Coachella. Hold on one second. 2 tickets, 3-day tickets will be yours. Hold on, all right?
Oh my God.
K-Rock, we are Klein Alley's show. Let's find out what's going on in the news, and we kick off a brand new hour of the show, perhaps the greatest hour of your life. If you're just joining us, I recommend you listen closely, and I recommend you listen to every word we say, because at some point after 9 o'clock, Showchella, a quiz about today's show, could result in you winning some tickets to Coachella. Weekend 1 3-day passes will be yours coming up. But first, this.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD News.
One of the biggest recurring fights that I always had every single morning growing up was who gets the front seat. I always lost this battle, even though I was 8 years older. But if this new law passes, that argument could be null and void for many families, because it would ban teenagers from riding in the front seat, at least up to a certain age.
What age are you supposed to be when you sit in the front seat?
I always thought it was about weight.
It is about weight.
Oh, so if you're a giant, fat 3-year-old, you can sit up front?
I don't know if it's 3. I think that they have, like, up until 9, you have to have a booster seat, right? Well, you have older kids, Omar, so what is your...
Yeah, my kids are in boosters, but maybe it's when they're like 3-4 years old, it's about weight and height.
I think so.
But then as they progress, it's more about weight than height.
So it's kind of crazy. They don't tell you this. I guess maybe they do. I didn't learn this when I became a dad, but there's like all these rules, like for a certain period of the life that the car seat has to be facing backwards.
Yeah.
And then once they hit a certain level, I don't know what that level is.
That one I know is weight related.
Oh, that's weight. Then you can turn the car seat forwards. Then if they get fat enough, you can take them out of the car seat and put them in
when they can't fit in the car seat anymore.
Right. When you go, like, you can squeeze those buckles shut. Then you got to get a seatbelt extender, or you move them to a booster seat, and then they're in the booster seat. But then, but even the booster seat, there's like 2 different styles. There's like one that's got a back to it and like nice, and then you can remove the back, and then they're just sitting on that like phone book thing under their ass.
I would say the car seat crap is one of the most annoying parts of having a kid.
And I thought, I never paid attention to it because I always assumed from the movies, I just got to bring it to the fire department. They'll figure it out. And then I finally did that, and they're like, we don't do that anymore.
And they're like,
wait,
get
what?
out of here. Do it yourself.
Yeah.
Find YouTube.
I thought that's what you guys do. They're like, no, we stopped doing that.
This, if this law passed, it would be kids under 10 would have to use a booster. Kids under 13 would be banned from the front seat regardless. And then small-framed children up to the age of 16 would have to sit in the back seat, because tiny kids are disproportionately hurt in crashes when they're not in the back seat or using a booster, and they think that would save lives. But I would say a small 16-year-old would say, you're ruining my life anyway if I'm being banned to the back seat. At 16 years old, you should earn the... If you're able to drive... You're able to sit in the front seat, so why wouldn't you be able to sit in the passenger seat?
Well, they do say, I think, the most dangerous seat in the car is shotgun. That is the most dangerous seat because
look at the name.
Right, even the name is dangerous. But they say that in general, when they look at all the crash data, the driver will usually, even if it's subconsciously, make a move to potentially protect themselves, and as a result, that person sitting shotgun is usually the one that has the greatest risk of
but I think that's
injury, death, whatever.
I think that's because of the way the passenger is usually sitting. I mean, if you think you're usually putting your feet on the dash, you're usually doing, you're looking down, you're not paying attention.
What kind of operation are you running? Feet on the dash?
Oh, I've been in a car accident twice where I was the passenger, and one time my feet were on the dash and I really hurt my legs, and the second time I was sleeping and my head was turned to the right and my jaw got super messed up.
When I broke my back, I was passenger too.
Yeah.
And they had to use the jaws of life to cut me out of that car. They said because I was so fat. The car was fine. They called me the jaws of life.
Look at these jaws.
I ate myself out of that car. It's amazing.
All right, when you're going through a bad breakup, maybe you do things that you wouldn't normally do because you're not yourself. You shared secrets, you shared intimacy, and
310 wants to say Vanessa needs to stay in the back seat still.
I was going to ask Vanessa about that because you're a small person. Did you have to sit in a booster seat for longer than other kids?
I'm sorry, I was on the phone, but no.
Yeah, the kids with their phone calls. Teenagers with their calls.
Stop bothering me, Mom.
Vanessa, you still sit in the back seat now, though, when you go places?
No.
Oh, you use a booster seat.
Oh, okay. I have a booster seat I could give you, Vanessa, if you want it.
Do you want a booster?
You guys suck.
I love you. All right. Sometimes when you go through a bad breakup, you just have to steal a chicken.
Show me your hands. That's fine. Just hold your chicken. I'm not going to hurt your chicken.
Kitsap County Sheriff's deputies confront a man accused of stealing a chicken while violating an order of protection. The call for help came from a woman who said her former boyfriend had shown up at her home in unincorporated Port Orchard early in the morning, kicking in a back door and shouting, "I've got Polly," several times before running away with the chicken that was inside the house.
Hey, show us your hands.
I got my chicken.
Stand up.
After a search, deputies located the man hiding in a wooded area.
Hey, relax a little.
He was still clutching the chicken as he was taken into custody.
I'm going to have you put the chicken in here for a second.
Deputies allowed him to
That was a barbecue, by the way.
Oh, it sounds delicious.
place the chicken safely into a patrol unit before booking him on charges of residential burglary and violating an order of protection. Polly the chicken, who was unharmed, was returned to her family.
What a story.
What a beautiful story. That's the news we need these days. When you can't handle any more tariff news, you get chicken news.
I know.
Right?
And then finally, congrats to San Francisco being determined to be the healthiest city in America. They did they broke down every major city in America, but there were a few California cities that were in the top 10. Huntington Beach came in at number 10. San Diego came in at number 5. San Francisco was at number 1. Number 2 was Honolulu.
Victorville? Come on.
Just because of all the great chains in there. No, it was Honolulu, Hawaii. And I guess they determined the access to nutritional food, recreational facilities, and also things like the cost of a medical visit and the average fruit and vegetable consumption and walkability of these cities.
All right, we got some tickets for you right now as we kick off a brand new hour of the show on a Friday morning. Come on.
Alley Show.
106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous KROQ.
Welcome to your weekend. Good morning. Nice to meet you. If you're back to KROQ for the first time in a while because of the return of the great Kevin Ryder afternoons, KROQ, well, it's a pleasure to meet you as well. I am Klein. That is Allie.
Hello.
We've got DJ Omar Khan, the trader. That is the nerd of the show. Jake the Nerd, they call him. Soon to be Jake the Skinny Nerd in the back. Vanessa, propped up on a couple of phone books to take your calls at 800-520-1067. And Postmaster Johnny, who will be in the studio a little bit later this hour for a round of Johnny Doesn't Know Space. A lot of talk about outer space, asteroids, the return of astronauts, and we found out Johnny does not know a lot about space, and he will be in to prove that. Although, as much as we give Johnny a hard time for being a lovable idiot, it turns out that something he said on this show, and this is going to blow your mind. When you hear this message, this is going to blow your mind. Johnny has been speaking to schools lately because he is roughly the same age and intelligence level of 7-year-olds. And he gave some quotes that he said were inspiring to him. Allie, listen to this message. This is going to blow your mind.
Hi, Klein. Hi, Allie. This is Jackie. So I'm calling because of what Johnny said way back when, that you don't have to be the smartest guy in the room. And today...
Remember, he gave that quote one time? He said, if you're the smartest guy in the room, you're in the wrong room. That's one of those quotes he claims he lives by, but he's never the smartest guy in the room because he's pretty much always the dumbest guy in the room.
That was before he gave the advice, closed mouths never eat.
Closed mouths never eat, which made us all convinced that he's been giving oral sex to our bosses. Anyway.
And today, during my supervisor training, they said that we don't need to be the smartest people in the room.
This person's being trained to be a supervisor, and they're giving Johnny quotes.
And I was like, wow, Johnny really is touching hearts, you know? So thank you, Johnny, for everything that you do and every person that you touch, because apparently the government doesn't need the supervisors to be the smartest people in the room.
Oh,
This is a government
my
job.
God. This is the government?
The U.S. government is training people with Johnny quotes.
Guys, we're all faking it.
Bye.
We all got to move to Canada ASAP because that is crazy. Well, Johnny,
baby.
Congratulations.
Are these the same people that were on that chat about Yemen?
Probably.
Bombing Yemen?
The same people that sent the wrong text, I'm sure. Hey, Frank, what's up, dude?
Yeah, I just wanted to add to the law about kids sitting in the front seat. My girls are 11 and 15, and they could care less to sit in the front seat. I just think they're like, I don't know, they think they're too cool or something to be sitting up front with
Well,
them.
I also think Uber and Lyft has changed the
A lot of
mentality.
it. Yeah, I think backseat's better. You get to drive around and feel like you're fancy, getting driven around.
Yeah.
Front seat's for suckers. Fancy seat in the back. Here's what we got for you right now. 4 tickets, Universal Fan Fest nights. Step into the best of sci-fi, fantasy, gaming, and anime. If you're caller 20 at 800-520-1067, we will get you into the all-new Universal Fan Fest nights. immersive after-hours event. You can live out your favorite fandoms like never before, all in one place, happening April 25th through May 18th, only at Universal Studios Hollywood. Please call now, be caller 20, and get yourself some tickets for that. After Lincoln Park, we make you a big, fat winner on KROQ. Show. Everything we say could be used later on this morning if you want to win yourself some Coachella tickets. The Showchella quiz after 9 o'clock this morning. All of the answers will be unveiled as the show goes on today. Let's start, though, by giving some tickets away to Universal Fan Fest nights. And we say hi to Armando. Good morning, Armando.
Good morning.
You are caller 20. Those tickets are as good as yours. Hold on, all right?
Nice.
Enjoy. Yes. Thank you. Thanks for starting your morning with us. Greatly appreciate it. Sorry, 909. Finally made it through. First time ever getting through after attempting to win tickets from you guys for over a year. Did not get the caller 20, though. Well, that's just half the battle, as G.I. Joe likes to say. Getting through, half the battle.
Yeah, I know.
Caller 20, the next half. We'll have another chance to win those tickets coming up later this morning. And then Coachella. We get a lot of comments on a lot of the things we post. And this week, if you have not been following along either on YouTube where we stream live every morning, I hope you're over at Klein Alley Show on Instagram because you got so much footage and so many memes last Saturday of me jumping in the freezing lake at Big Bear. Thank you for everyone who participated in that and sent the memes. Then you got the video, over 4 million now, of Allie changing out her Tesla logo with the Klein Alley Show badge. That's north of 4 million. Johnny trying to figure out how much money is 10,000 pennies worth. That was from last week's Johnny Doesn't Know.
And the return of Kevin Ryder.
Those are all videos that are doing quite well. But with the videos that do well, there's also quite a few comments. And some of the comments are, make us feel good, and others make us feel terrible about ourselves.
Yeah,
it's time for us to declare the comments of the week.
Of course, course, some of the comments on the polar plunge and you running into the lake made me happy, including this guy, Callow Carver, who said, does Klein always run like that? Either way, I'm boned up. Some of the responses from Kevin Ryder returning were great. Definitely not the awkward sit-down, stand-up hug. It seems like Kevin Ryder's probably going to turn around and leave KROQ again after that.
That was a strange hug.
That was very weird, but I think my favorite comment, and I think the official comment of the week, was made on Johnny's 10,000 Pennies video, and I don't think this person follows our show or knows about our show at all.
Probably not.
And it's Rick213 who said, this man is missing more than a decimal.
There you have it. Always appreciate the interaction. You can comment on anything we do, and even if it's just go to hell or fire these fools already, we appreciate the interaction nonetheless. It all helps.
It's funny because there was a whole back and forth in this comment section of Johnny's video whether or not this man went to college. And then people who know the show, they're like, no, he did go to college. And they're like, no, that's not possible. And then another guy said, buying a piece of paper that says you're smart doesn't mean you're smart. It just means you're willing to buy a piece of paper.
Also, we should point out that Johnny did go to multiple colleges. I believe he was in 2 colleges at the same time, didn't realize that he was earning the same degree at 2 different places, which is even crazier.
I think he thought he was getting a degree each year.
Yes, that's what it was.
I was like, you have a degree and everything. And he's like, yep, all 4 years.
Well,
and I was like, I don't think that's how it works.
Johnny will be in here a little bit later this hour for some Johnny Doesn't Know. Today is Nipple Day.
It's nipple piercing day. Pierce that nip.
Pierce that nip.
Just remember, it takes 6 months to a year to heal.
Oh, my God. What? Yeah, Omar was sending me some very aggressive text messages last night to really psych me out about Nipple Day, where he said that he said, I don't know who you were texting, Omar, but you said
I was texting my buddy Garrett, and I guess the piercer that you guys reached out to, his name was Nathan, and he's Garrett's buddy, and he gave me some insight on what you're going to experience today.
Yeah, he said the nipple of all of the body parts is the most painful one.
Yep.
I thought the tongue was the most painful.
I don't think so. For whatever reason, there's more nerve endings in the nipple, and I will be in a ton of pain. We are waiting on getting full. The lawyers here have really been trying to shut this down in so many ways, and we've been getting, unfortunately, a lot of calls from bosses the last few days as we're trying to do a workaround. Jake did find some sort of a weird loophole in the law that allows us to do it.
Well, and the tattoo shop that we've talked to said we have done events and done house calls and done piercing parties, and there's absolutely plenty of legal ways that we can do this outside the shop.
As of last night, the last call I received from the boss said that if anyone gets pierced in the studio today, consider that our last day here at KROQ.
That was no way.
That was the last.
All right.
That was the
Free
last.
weekend.
You can do it in the KROQ kitchen.
Yeah,
well, that's
he
once
just
again
said the studio. That's only one space that's been eliminated.
That is
do the nerd hole.
Yeah, there's a lot of other. Oh God, that sounds terrible.
Oh, nipple hole in the nerd hole.
So we will update you. We're hoping to get.
But we'll update you.
Come on,
okay.
Well, I mean,
but anyway, we'll update you on whether or not it happens.
The lawyer for the company was supposed to be on with us so that we could present him with this information that said we're not violating any rules. I've signed whatever waivers they need me to sign. I'm on board. I mean, I came in ready to go.
Well, and what lawyer Jake was telling us
Jake's
was
not
that
a lawyer.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, he was saying that the risk is on the tattoo people, not on the company.
But this company, a bunch of pussies, and especially the lawyers are the biggest pussies at the company, and they do not want to do anything. I mean, you saw what happened when people were in here smashing eggs on their face. They freaked the F out.
Yeah, but I understand.
That had to do with blood.
Yeah, that's blood.
Oh, I can't help it that one of the guys who came in here is an easy bleeder.
And those are people that don't work here. You work here. And the risk seems to be on the people that are doing the piercing rather than the company. The piercing shop could get a fine. That was the extent of it.
You should have seen this thing they made me as I was jumping in that cold lake up at Big Bear. I got chased down by some salesperson, and she goes, you need to sign this before you jump in the lake. I said, I already signed 6 of these things. What are we talking about here? Well, you got to sign something else that says your family also won't sue us if you die in the lake. I'm like, all right,
if
whatever.
you die in the lake.
I mean, it's like they get,
waivers seem to work everywhere else.
Everywhere. I mean, I go on these janky ass jet skis sometimes in Mexico, and I don't even think the thing I'm signing, it's like on a napkin, and I'm like, all right, here we go. And I think they feel pretty good about that they're in the clear. So I don't understand why this massive company can't get their S together.
And the piercing
Not like the Frosty tips where you only had it for 3 days.
Yeah.
So just remember that. Pierce that nip.
All right, great.
Pierce that nip. I'm proud of you, Klein.
Thank you. Pierce the nip. It should be happening later this morning. So if you're not watching on YouTube, you should be watching on YouTube because today's the day.
How is it happening later this morning after everything you just said?
Well, because I think the only thing I may have to do, Allie, is
Anyway, so that's happening later.
Well, it's in the schedule.
Obviously, it's not.
It's in the schedule.
You don't argue with that. It's on the schedule,
it's on the
Yeah,
schedule.
but you just said the lawyer said if you get this done, this will be your last day.
So don't
Fine.
get
So
don't get it twisted. So
guys,
then it's not happening.
If
is what
I
you're
get
saying.
if I get fired today because I pierced my nipple on the show because I lost a bet, not even because I lost a bet. If I get think about how stupid this is. We raised over $7,000 for the Special Olympics, and the reason we raised that much money is because I said if we got over 5,000, I would pierce a nipple. If I get fired because I pierced a nipple and went against the lawyers at the company, but I got fired because we raised money for the Special Olympics, how terrible are they going to look? This company's all about not trying to look bad as a company.
Absolutely.
So
they're
going to look like they fired me because
for raising money for the Special Olympics.
Right, because I raised money for the Special Olympics and pierced my nipple. Now, they'll make some argument, I'm sure, and they'll put out a big statement that said Klein was underperforming and he was violating the powers that be or this or that. But the reality of the situation, because we're keeping this very transparent with you guys, is if I go through with piercing the nipple in the studio, which I don't want to do on a personal level. I have no interest in having a pierced nipple. My nipples are very small, comically small.
I know, and I think that's what's behind this, truly. But 951 said this nipple piercing bit is really not funny enough for the show to get canceled.
I agree with that. That's the thing. And the final
is
word.
Is this the hill we want to die on? Is the question.
The final comment that the boss made last night, and this was after the 5th or 6th call, was, is this how you want to go out? Wouldn't you rather go out with something much grander? And I'm like, well, yeah, if we're going to get fired for doing something stupid.
We've been waiting to go out with something grander. We can't do
All
that.
right, let's get some fireworks in here, too.
Cool.
Well, I mean, if maybe we add to maybe we do all the things they've said no to over the last year, and we do them all at the same time while I get my nipple pierced.
This company has fired people for dumber reasons. That's also true.
It's very true. Anyway, we'll take a quick. They said I couldn't even. Someone said just pierce an ear. Start with the ear. They want no piercing. No piercing and tattooing allowed in any way. And then I brought up. We brought in a bunch of listeners and had them tattooed in here, and they said, well, we weren't supposed to do that.
I know, and we're like, we even got a D tattooed on a woman's foot.
Yeah.
And they were like, what? And we were like, goodbye.
A D on her foot that was shooting KROQ out of the tip in liquid. And that was somehow okay. But they said it wasn't, and we shouldn't have ever done it.
Yeah, because we never said anything about it. That's why it was fine. We probably couldn't have colored your hair in here either. And the tattoo shop said we would pierce Klein with a barbell rather than a ring, and we would never start a fresh piercing with a chain. An anatomy will determine the size and length of the piece, but we'll bring several options. And the Nathan, who's the piercer, is an absolute expert with 33+ years of experience.
Yeah, they don't care about any of that.
Very
they don't care about any of it. They say that it's going to.
Hold on, let me do it.
Edwin, I thought
it doesn't matter. All right, then Blind Charlie, come on.
I think Blind Charlie is coming in here to pierce. I thought he was going to do it.
That's what we wanted.
He can't sue us. He can't even see the door. Hey, Edwin, hello.
Hey, how are you guys?
Fine. What's up?
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah.
It's gonna be painful. I pierced my nipples.
Thank you.
And yes.
Okay, great. That's
a
really
great story.
Helpful advice.
Clearly, it made you smarter.
All right, thank you. Appreciate that.
Well, we could get a piercing van up in here, 323, said just take a camera and go to a piercing shop and record it.
Yeah, I may have to walk across the street and do it in Ralph's, the produce aisle. Because at least then we've got some, that'll be at least something worth watching. I just don't know how we're going to get it on the YouTube
310,
as well.
Isn't this effing KROQ? What kind of pussies are up there running the show
right,
these days?
Effing KROQ. And I'm effing Kevin. Let's get it straight.
All right, the net rider.
We gotta take take a quick break. When we get back, Allie attempted to hit on an AI woman. How did that go? Was she able to secure the date? It's a new game you can play through Tinder that proves that you are good or bad at hitting on people. We'll come back and listen to the audio. It is awkward to say the least, and we'll get to that next.
KROQ. Guess who's back? What? Back again. Woohoo! Kevin's back.
Find that hard to believe.
Got no friends. Kevin's back. 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 KROQ. Wow, 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 wow. KROQ. Wow, 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 wow.
She's a spaghetti girl. We've created a monster. Nobody listens to KROQ no more. They laid off everybody that was here. But if you want KROQ, this is what we'll give you. Mediocrity and Klein. When he was last here, ratings dropped fast, a lot quicker than my stocks when he got locked out of KROQ's kitchen. Guess what? Kevin's back. Na 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 na. Fix your Bentatana tuna, turn it up a little. You waited this long, never say never. Kevin's back and introducing the Red Hot Chili Peppers. We gave him a job, a new endeavor, but he ain't too smart and he ain't very clever. So the FCC just lets him be, cause they cannot understand what he's saying. They tried to shut him down, ha ha ha. We put Kevin back on the frequency. Well, we tried to reach out to Bean, but he wouldn't return our calls, you see, cause we're all bankrupt. Odyssey, and put Kevin back on the frequency. Well, we need a little controversy, so everybody just follow our lead and pretend you are kind of happy that Kevin's back on the frequency. KROQ, what did we do? What did we do? KROQ.
That song ended. That ended. So now we're going to talk. That's over. That is over. You dumbass.
Kevin Ryder's back. Weekdays from 3 to 7 on KROQ.
Show. Hey, where's that gavel? We had some listeners that sent us a nice gavel, so we can make this petty claims court seem a lot more professional. You can go ahead and check out the YouTube right now as we're streaming live, and you can watch Vanessa scurry in here with our brand new gavel.
So come on, scurry!
Smashing that hammer down. We got petty claims court to get to. Usually this would be listeners fighting about something petty that's going on. Yeah, thank you. We need that gavel. That's the most important part of petty claims court. And thank you to, hold on, someone sent this to us. Let me read this note we got. Wow, that's real deal, Allie. That's a real nice gavel right there. Something to make petty claims court spicy.
Ooh.
Love you guys. Sweet Dibbits, listeners, Monica and Amelia. Well, thank you for sending that to us.
I love that.
We're not above receiving gifts from you fine people that listen to the show. All right, great. So now we got Allie and we got her wife. And Allie, usually you get to be a part of the decision-making in petty claims court. In fact, usually you tally the votes.
So can I not this time?
Of course you can't, because you're
Right.
now a defendant.
Okay.
It's time for petty claims court.
In the legal system, cases are tried from Supreme Courts to small claims court. But what about stuff that's too small for small claims court? This is petty claims court.
It's got some girth to it. Nice hammer right here. Petty claims court is now in session. Allie has accused her wife of something. Also, Allie claims she never farts, so we'll have to start with that issue, but then we'll get into the real issue, which is
on that.
The chore thing. Let's bring Allie's wife on the phone as well. This is Katie. Everyone knows Katie intimately.
Hi.
Hello, Katie. How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
Thanks for always good to talk to you, and thank you for joining us in this petty claims court.
I didn't know this is what I was joining. Like, this just upped the stakes.
So earlier in the week, I brought this up. Katie, you're the one who has the chore of cleaning the cat's litter boxes and making sure the food and the water is full. And we had 2 cats, now we have 1, and you pitched to me that you would no longer like to do this chore because your heart's not in it, because Zoe is now gone, and you're really just doing it for, quote, my cat, so it should be my responsibility. Is this correct?
Yes, that's true. I don't want to do it anymore.
I'm ready to rule. Katie's
Okay.
right. Court over.
Which
I have been doing it for years and years and years, and I primarily was doing it for my cat because she was more needy. And, we risked her peeing and pooping in other places. So I was on top of it. Allie wasn't on top of it. Allie didn't volunteer to help in that department.
I thought you should have seen Allie's face right there. It was great. I thought you should actually check out the YouTube now if you want to watch Allie's face making faces she doesn't normally make. Wait,
That's a really good idea. I have it on.
Katie, I thought both of the cats were both of your cats. Am I wrong here? Didn't you both get both cats together?
No. My cat was mine first, and then Callie, we technically got when we first started dating, but she's Allie's cat. She lived with her, and Zoe lived with me. And then they came together.
Right. So she's our cat.
I mean, yeah, but she's mostly yours.
So now Allie's bringing up the point that she wants, if you want out of that chore, then we should reevaluate the whole chore situation in the relationship.
Yeah.
Because
So this
she's...
is the thing. I would like to see a list of what she thinks she does, and you should ask me what I'm doing right now and what I've done this morning.
Well, that's the thing is Katie flexes the chores. Well, this morning I did this. Well, this morning I did that. And
I'd like to hear what you did this morning. Go ahead, Katie. Please tell us.
Well, currently I'm folding our laundry. I unloaded the dishwasher, washed the dishes in the sink, cleaned the bathroom, swept the floor.
You never clean the bathroom or sweep the floor. So let's just...
She's under oath, so she's not lying to us. She wouldn't lie in
I'm not saying you didn't do it. I'm saying I'm usually the one who does all the deep cleaning. Is that correct? I'm usually usually
Sweeping is not deep cleaning, sweetheart. And if you don't think I sweep multiple times a day, I'm going to stop sweeping, and you can see how dirty the house gets.
All right.
Yeah, sweetheart.
Number one, we have a Roomba.
Yeah, toots.
So, okay. Number two, yes,
half the time.
maybe you do sweep, but I mop 100% of the time.
Which is what, every 3 months?
Oh, hey.
Bam!
I also clean the kitchen. I do all the deep cleaning of the kitchen, and
Allie, you deep clean like once every 3 months.
No, I deep clean throughout.
Or if you happen to take an edible one weekend and then do it because I asked you to.
Yes, she said, will you please take an edible and clean the house? And I said, happily, I will.
Are you saying that Allie is exaggerating her amount of chores and the effort that goes into them?
Yes, I don't care that I do a lot of the stuff around here.
Sounds like
It's not
most of the stuff.
it.
Yes.
No, it's not
I
most
just
of.
don't want her to lie about it. She shouldn't be taking credit where there's no credit to be taken.
When was the last time you cleaned a toilet in our house?
I don't know, a couple months ago.
No, that's not true.
When did you do it?
I did it last week because I
So
do
you
it.
know when I did it?
'Cause she blew
For
that
Leslie's
bitch up.
birthday.
You did. Well, also, the other thing is that I make the meals 100% of the time.
Oh,
so,
no, you're pivoting. You're moving away from what we're talking about now. You're changing. Objection sustained.
I talked to Masa about this at yoga, and she agreed that mostly all you do is cook.
You are talking about this with her.
Order.
Excuse me. I do so much more. I am cleaning all the time.
All right, listen. It feels like both of you think you're doing everything, and it turns out that
We probably both are.
the only person that's doing everything is Katie.
That's not true.
You will
Also, a lot of the time I end
She's
up cleaning
doing
up.
everyone, not everything.
Okay.
All right, we'll
Thank
accept
you
that.
so much, Omar.
Objection
Why are
sustained.
you
Overruled.
I hate the gavel.
The gavel's great.
The thing is, I'm also doing most of the cleanup because Katie said that I am a messy cook and I need to clean up
You
after
are-
myself.
Right.
That is so true, and you have gotten a little bit better at that, and I appreciate that.
And I run the dishwasher because you say you don't want to run the dishwasher.
818 says this is the greatest petty claims court ever. You guys need to get one of those litter robots that will take care of the kitty litter duties. It sounds like the two of them are going to straight up split after this conversation. I can't believe you would make them do this before Valentine's Day. LMAO, she's talking to the yoga instructor about Allie. Unbelievable. I mean, it's people are fired up. You will get 10 seconds of closing arguments each, and then we will have to turn this over to a vote of your peers. Everyone has got jury duty this morning. Sorry to break it to you. Then we'll come back from the break and we will announce the results. Katie, you have 10 seconds.
Yeah.
You've been accused.
Wait. Okay. Yeah. What am I accused of? What am I defending myself?
Well, that's a good point now, Allie. What are you accusing her of?
I'm accusing her of now getting out of the chore of cleaning the litter box when the chores are, in my opinion, evenly split or even skewed towards me where I do more.
All right. 10 seconds, Katie, to defend that.
Ridiculous. Okay. So
Stop laughing at me.
I mean, maybe that's my argument.
All right. Her laughter is her argument. There's your 10 seconds well used. Allie, you have 10 seconds as well. You seem a little bit more unhinged.
Come on, Toots.
I work twice as many hours as you do. Okay, so you have a lot more time to do the laundry and fold the laundry. And if I do try and do the laundry, then you say I'm not doing it right. So you do the laundry, and then a lot of times you will leave it in the bin unfolded for days.
All right, 10 seconds. All right. Votes now. You got to vote Allie, you got to vote Katie. Someone's going to...
Katie or sweetheart.
Katie or sweetheart, get your votes to us. 800-520-1067. I cannot wait for the verdict. We'll come back with that.
626 Allie has stolen chore valor.
It is stolen valor. It is stolen chore valor is what it sounds like. It really does. We'll come right back with the results of this petty claims court after this quick break. Oh, my God. We're get to some Johnny Doesn't Know coming up shortly. If you'd like to play, you can get on the phones. Remember, everything we say today could score you Coachella tickets just after 9 o'clock this morning. Showchella, a quiz about things that happened on today's show. The more you listen, the better your chances are to win. These questions could be completely random, but just by listening and paying a little bit of attention to the show, including what we're saying right now, could result in you going to the desert for weekend one of Coachella. Do you think you're good at flirting? Are you good at being hit on or hitting on others? I feel like nowadays, because people maybe were good at flirting in real life, does that flirting necessarily translate to meeting someone on Instagram or meeting someone on the dating apps? I think it's a different style of flirting altogether.
I think what you have to learn about flirting is that it's about the journey, not the result. You can't flirt with someone going like, oh, what am I going to say next to get them to sleep with me? You just have to have real conversations with people, and if things lead there, they lead there.
But then also, you do want to think about what is the game plan. Because if not, you're just wasting a lot of your time having a conversation with another, quote, friend. And who needs that, right?
Well, if you're having a good conversation, it's not a waste of time. I'm sure Johnny the Rizmaster would tell you the same thing. He's all just about connection, right, Johnny?
Over the next few days, we're each going to have an opportunity to flirt with a AI robot. Now, this is something that has been put together through Tinder. It is a simulation that allows you to meet someone, simulate exactly how that conversation would go if you were to meet them in real life, and then it lets you know at the end of the conversation, how'd you do? Would you have actually gotten a date with this person?
Yeah, you have to practice picking people up
So-
before you actually get in the game.
Allie's going to go first. Now, you don't get to pick who the person, you don't get to really pick anything. I think you just
It
get,
gives you an AI attractive person,
Right.
and a scenario.
and then you get to react and talk to them in real time. And this was the conversation that Allie had yesterday. And you let me know if you think it was a success or not.
At an open mic night in a lively Miami venue, you meet Jade, a retail manager, and chat about your shared love for music and art.
So they kind of give you the setup already, so you're not going in completely blind. You met someone named Jade, and you're at an open mic night, and you both she loves music and art. So that's kind of your setup, and then you have to figure out within, you don't have time to think about it right away. Now the conversation begins.
It's happening.
And you are interacting with AI technology, but it will give you a legitimate answer as to how you did.
She's from Miami. She's 32. And we're at an open mic night. All right, let's go.
Was she hot, Jade?
I mean, AI hot.
Oh, she was AI hot?
Yeah.
Did you get nervous a little bit, even though you knew she wasn't real?
No.
You weren't nervous at all?
No, why would I get nervous from an AI simulation?
Well, you don't want to find out your flirting game is terrible.
I mean, I did feel a little bit like, okay, whoa, let me dig back into the archives
Right.
of flirting because I haven't had to do that in many years.
Oh, this place? It's got mad energy, right? I love seeing all the local talent. So what kind of music are you into?
You think she meant talent like chicks? Love all the local talent.
I love this local talent.
Lot
Turn
of
around for me, talent.
Let me see the rest of your talents. I think she's talking about the music, right? Probably.
Yeah, and I mean,
I love seeing all the local talent. So what kind of music are you into? I gotta say, I got a soft spot for those indie acoustic sets, you know?
She's kind of like you already. She asked the question, but then doesn't stop. You know what I mean? Like she asked the question, but then keeps going still.
and she's so like me because she said this venue has mad energy.
Yeah, the two of you already are hitting it off.
Oh, yeah, me too. I actually work for a radio station, and I have the pleasure of being front row to some of those events. And I would say, intimate events are some of the best ones out there, way better than some of the big shows, festivals, and things like that, because you get a real one-on-one experience that's kind of unforgettable.
Oh, that sounds awesome. I bet you get the best seat in the house, huh?
So you're kind
Well,
of.
I just said I'm in the front row, you idiot.
But you're kind of flexing a little bit. But that is what a flirt. I mean, that is technically, if you're hitting on someone, you are trying to
Impress them.
Yeah, usually you're trying to show what is your value. What value do you bring
Well, and
to
she
this?
happens to bring up something that is a part of my job.
Right. Yeah, you must have, right. She says, you go to these shows a lot, and you're like, hey, lucky me. Yeah, not only do I go to the shows, I got great seats.
I bet you get the best seat in the house, huh? You're totally right about those smaller shows. Up close and personal, you can actually feel the music, right? So tell me, what's
Speaking
the
of
wildest
feeling-
Yeah, well, I don't think, it's funny because she has that kind of that
They made her sound like a lesbian, didn't they?
Yeah, she does have a lesbian voice, but it's also kind of a raspy, she got kind of, even though she's a robot, it is kind of a flirty tone to her, the way that she's delivering.
You can actually feel the music, right? So tell me, what's the wildest concert moment you've ever had?
When I told the Black Keys, what'd you say, the Black Keys?
I said,
was that stupid pep talk
do
you
a
gave
good
them?
job, I know you will.
Do a good job, I know you will. Is that the wildest?
Well, I interviewed this band called Wet Leg.
And I asked him a question that still hasn't ended yet.
What's the wildest concert moment you've ever had?
Well, one time I went on stage and I was drunk and I introduced the wrong band, and it was a band that had already played, and so it was really embarrassing and everyone laughed at me, and then we played some of the audio on the air the next day, and it kind of made me feel bad about myself, but I guess that's relatable, right? Yep.
That got real quiet.
Yeah.
Just ghosted you?
She kind
She
of.
didn't ghost me. She talked.
I think the AI takes a minute to process Allie's story, and so it's the
So, is it real or not? Like, there's no way that could happen in real life?
right. Like, this woman's got to be lying right now.
But I guess that's relatable, right? Why do I
Oh,
sound so-
wow, that's a wild night. We all have those moments, right?
We all have those moments.
She's trying to make you feel calm, but it does feel kind of desperate. You sound very desperate.
Yeah, I think I sounded thirsty at the end.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's relatable, right?
Right. You're right.
But I guess that's relatable, right?
Oh, wow, that's a wild night. We all have those moments, right? It's part of the fun. Keeps life interesting. Some real unforgettable memories. And hey, at least you can laugh about it now, right? So, what's the next big event you're planning to check out?
Well, really want to do something for our producer's birthday because we're all convinced that she's a child.
Interesting, Allie, that you went with this angle and not the obvious one, which is you're going to Coachella in a few weeks. Like, that seems like that would have been the answer. If you were really trying to hit on this woman,
Yeah.
you would have used the biggest flex there is, which is, well, Coachella. That's where I'm going. And instead, you went with this.
Well, really want to do something for our producer's birthday because we're all convinced that she's a child and her birthday's on May the 4th. So we wanted to do kind of a Cinco de Mayo / children's birthday party. But we're always doing events. We did an event in Big Bear where the host of the show that I'm on, he got frosted tips and now he has to pierce his nipple.
What a stupid thing to say. I mean, really.
I mean, that's my life.
What a stupid thing to say.
I'm being real.
But you also could have said, I'm going to Coachella and I have an extra
Well,
ticket.
I didn't think about that
If
in a
the
minute.
goal is trying to hit on this AI bot and pick her up successfully.
Don't tell me how to flirt. She buys all of it. She's also not listening anyway. I gave her that first story about being drunk on stage and introducing the wrong band, and she was like, wow, that sounds wild. Like,
Well,
she's not even really taking in my words.
She is listening.
He got frosted tips, and now he has to pierce his nipple.
Oh, man, sounds like your crew knows how to throw a party.
Oh, yeah, we do. We're a crew that knows how to throw a party.
A Cinco de Mayo / birthday bash? That's got to be a blast.
I think
Lots of fun and laughs.
I'm breaking the AI.
It's finally. She's melting down.
So what's your favorite part about planning these wild events?
Well, letting my, I guess imagination go wild. You should come to one of the events one time. I'd love to have you. You can see it firsthand, just how crazy some of this stuff can get.
All right, now Allie's elevating the conversation from general whatever to now let's lock down some plans.
All of this was general whatever.
Well, it was, but now you're saying let's go ahead and let's date.
Yeah.
Sounds like a total blast. I'd love to experience one of those wild events. Sounds like pure fun. Keep me posted. Maybe I'll swing by one time.
Non-committal.
Ghosted.
Yeah.
Shut up, guys. She's totally into me.
She said she didn't say that's great. I'll be there. She said keep me posted.
I'll keep you ghosted.
Yeah, Vanessa, you know that. I mean, even Allie getting rejected by the robot is sad.
Keep me posted. Maybe I'll swing by one time.
How can I? All right. Well, you sound like a dyke, so I'm sure we'll enjoy ourselves. I'll scissor your timbers.
I'm here to keep our chat respectful and friendly.
She rejected you real quick there. Allie really went for
I
it.
just had to be really clear my intentions.
Well, you sound like a dyke.
I'm here to keep our chat respectful and friendly. If you'd like to keep talking about music, events, or anything fun, let's do it.
Why don't we do?
And then they cut her off. And then Allie got cut off with the whole music. This is the best.
If you want to keep talking about music, and no, I don't. Obviously.
This is so funny. Listen how disappointed Allie is when she gets cut off again.
If you'd like to keep talking about music, events, or anything fun, let's do it.
Why don't we do?
All right, well, there you have it.
I almost got her.
Yeah, almost. That was
I don't know
Allie.
if you could do better.
Allie getting rejected by AI. Apologies, everyone on the phone right now, for Johnny doesn't know. We are up on a break, so we're going to have to push that to next hour. But fear not, we'll find out what Johnny knows and doesn't know about space. And that was Allie's attempt to hit on AI technology. Don't worry, I took a shot at it as well. And then I think Johnny's going to take a shot, the Rizmaster himself. And Vanessa, we're all going to take a shot to hit on this AI and see if we can do it.
949. Jesus Christ. Allie's flirting is almost as long as her questions. She needs professional help.
Well, she's not only married to professional help, a therapist, but she does go to professional help.
I do. I get therapy every week. I talk about it all the time.
Your flirting is almost as long as your neck.
626. Allie sounds like she's in the most boring job interview ever.
It really was terrible. I mean, truly terrible.
I guess it's so terrible to have a conversation with me, yet you do it every day.
Yeah. On that note, let's take a break. We'll be back when we return your news. We got more tickets for you and Coachella in your future. Even Jake and Vance had more chemistry, someone's pointing out. If you remember when Jake went to Love A Island, he and Vance, they hit it. I mean,
look, when she said at the jump, she said, this venue has mad energy. That's not a person for me. That's already within 1 second. I know that I don't.
Excuses now because you struck out.
Shut up. Somebody said that the AI voice sounded like the I'm a tampon.
Yes, you did. I think it may have been you hitting on yourself. Keep in mind, when Jake first met his robot, which was a year ago now, this was Vance.
Hi, my name is Vance. I love Magic the Gathering tool and guys until they can't walk straight. I also like nature.
Jake was sold.
Yeah, mad respect for that guy.
Yeah. Jake loves that guy.
Close the deal.
We got to take a break. Every day next week, you'll hear another one of us attempt to successfully hit on a robot. Well, did you get a score at the end of that, or did they just disconnect
No, it just kicked me back into the waiting room.
Oh, my God. That's so insulting.
Whatever. You're not going to do any better than me.
You know what?
You're going to make some weird joke that's going to offend her, and then she's going to leave.
Allie,
I don't think you could last as long as I did.
I will have you know that I did mine yesterday, and we don't have time to get into this now in its entirety, but I was very successful. And I realized that I'm good at flirting. I should get back in the game. If I wasn't married, man, I'd be strong. I'm going to play you just a tease, but I mean...
Shrimp and grits without the shrimp and grits, huh? So
no, hold on. I got to give you the setup here. Hold on.
Is she calling you a shrimp
No,
because you're short?
No. My setup was I met a woman at at like a snack bar or something like that in North Carolina. That's where they put me. I don't know why that was the hypothetical.
Oh, so you're making a shrimp and grits joke?
She asked me, listen to this. Tell me how good this flirting is. Listen.
I got the shrimp and grits.
Oh, hold on.
Wow, so much more interesting than me.
Allie, it is. This is the woman. Listen.
no worries. Looks like neither of us was expecting that. Hope you're enjoying your meal. What did you end up ordering?
I got the shrimp and grits. Hold the grits, hold the shrimp. I'm on a diet.
Oh.
Shrimp and grits without the shrimp and grits, huh? So you got a fancy plate and not much.
Oh my God, she's calling you a fancy boy.
We're having a full-on flirt going on now. This is I'm crushing with this woman.
Oh, Lord. Cringy groaner jokes?
No, she loved it.
How's the diet going for you?
You tell me. You can feast with your eyes.
Ew.
Oh, my God.
Well, bless your heart.
That's like the biggest insult in the South.
Next week, you'll get this one in its entirety. All right? Lucky you. We'll take a quick break. We're back in a second with your news now.
KROQ. World Famous Klein Alley Show.
KROQ.
106.7 FM.
Mornings on KROQ. The World Famous KROQ.
Klein Alley Show. KROQ.
Apologies for all the people that are sitting in their car, even though they're supposed to be in their job right now, waiting for the exciting conclusion of this petty claims court. And before Allie or her wife Katie say anything, and Katie's on the phone still, Omar, you got to witness the conversation that just happened off the air for the last 5 minutes between the two of them. The fighting did not stop for almost that entire song and commercial break.
It was very entertaining, to say the least, and now I get how Katie charms her way out of everything, because Allie was just kind of taking it, just kind of like nodding her head, and it was amazing to watch. Kudos, Katie.
Kudos.
I'm very impressed.
I'm going to play some audio. I recorded some of your fighting. I think it's fair that the listeners get to hear what really goes on when you guys don't think you're on the air. This is Allie accusing Katie of sleeping late today and getting ready for a nap right now after this is done. Listen to this, and then they really went on a tangent.
All right, what, 6:30?
So annoying. 6.
Right, and so you've already, it's 3 hours later, you're already taking your first nap.
Yeah, because I have to have energy to listen to people for 5 straight hours.
What do you think I do for a job?
It's different, Allison.
What happened to Sweetie?
My job is just as much of an energy suck as yours, and I do it for twice as
You're
long.
having conversation, and it's entertaining, and it's energizing, and you do it for 4 hours.
It's not entertaining.
That's for sure. That's for sure. At least until you joined us. Now it is. That was just some of the fighting that was going on behind the scenes. And the phones are lit up now, of course, well over the 100 votes we asked for. People have strong opinions in the petty claims court battle of Allie versus her wife. She accuses her wife of trying to
Get out of some chores.
get out of the one I'm going to quote you. Get out of the one chore she does, which is...
I didn't say one chore she does.
Well, you said laundry doesn't count because she likes doing it.
Well, she won't let me do it. She says I do it wrong.
Katie, is that true?
Do what wrong? The laundry?
Yeah.
You don't do the laundry wrong.
You said that I don't do the cycle right, or the water's too warm or some crap.
I mean, you need to, maybe the water temperature.
And I don't spray it properly. Sometimes you got to spray stuff down. I mean, there's a whole process.
Allie is accusing...
You have stains on everything. And you don't...
That's Poogers for you.
All right.
Allie's wife is accusing Allie now. I don't even know who's the defendant anymore. It seems like they're both defendants somehow. Allie's wife is accusing Allie of stolen chore valor, taking credit for all the chores. Meanwhile, she says already this morning she's been up doing everything. So there's a real fight happening between
It just
chores.
so happens she cleaned the bathroom, which never happens. I always do the deep cleaning, and I've done all the dusting, all the mopping, all of the deep, I've cleaned the fans, baseboards, all that stuff.
I want to get to the votes because
You
a lot
do
of
not
people.
clean the baseboard.
Yes,
or
I
the
do.
fan.
You just don't know.
There's a lot of. No one knows that the baseboards are clean.
It's true.
Blaine,
I
who
do
are you,
because I
Blaine?
look at them and think about it.
Blaine, who are you voting for?
All right, sweet divots, everybody.
Sweet Divots. Hi. What's your vote
So
for?
I've lived my 17-year marriage in this last 15-minute phone call, and I, too, do chores and then do them wrong and then don't do them and then get in trouble for not doing the chores that I was doing wrong. So, Allie, I feel for you. However, out of straight fear, my wife's going to listen to the podcast. I'm going to go with Katie just because I don't want any more lectures.
All right, that's a vote for Katie. That's the Jedi mind trick for you.
909 said, I feel bad for Allie, but I'm still going to vote for her partner.
Nick?
I know you guys need to do the votes, but listen, I have
What's
a
up?
list of what I do. Litter, I take the trash in and out. I do the dishes, the laundry. I throw away all her snot rags. I gather her random socks throughout the house. I unpack her lunchbox.
How many snot rags?
That's not, if I'm sick.
Hold on.
That's
Jesus. That's like a regular thing that you have to put on your list.
That's the grossest thing I've ever heard.
Katie, what? Shut up.
Just follow her snot rags.
Shut up. Quiet down, Snotty. Katie, what percentage of your day is spent picking up Allie's snot rags?
10%.
Oh, that's not true.
So much snot.
And her earplugs.
All right. Well, those fall out when I sleep.
And I vacuum the bathroom every day.
No.
All right.
The shed in here.
Guys, this petty claims court has gotten out of control. I got the gavel
I'm
here.
the winner, obviously.
We have to take a few. We have to take a few more of the votes. All right. Let me just, Linda. Let's get a lady's opinion on this. Go ahead, Linda.
Hey, Sweet Dibs.
Sweet Tips. What's up?
I don't care how many chores each one does. In my opinion, this is like a stepchild. And if something happened to your stepchild, or pardon me, to your child that you birthed, and you still have a stepchild, you need to take care of that child. And if they agreed that who had the responsibility of taking care of the cats, I think that Katie should continue to take care of the cats.
All right. That's a vote in the column of Allie. So people are split up all over the place.
I think if she has already taken on that chore, she should continue to take on the chore.
Donald.
And I did right in front
Good
of
morning,
you last
guys.
night. And I'm playing with the cat right now with the laser pointer.
Great.
By the way, she works some serious hours.
Yes.
Okay? And then cooking, doing all the cooking on top of that, that's work in itself. That needs to be appreciated.
And all the grocery shopping.
Who's your vote for then,
And
Donald?
grocery shopping too. So finding time for all that's hardcore.
Yep.
Okay? And working the hours you do, and then having someone taking naps all day.
Yep.
That's kind of...
Sometimes I get home and she is
Including
taking
Allie.
a second nap.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
Okay, that's true when I was very depressed, but that is not true now.
All right.
There's
Thank
the
you.
Jedi again.
That's a smart move. I like it. That's good. You
It's
know
about
what?
her mental health.
Allie, don't go again. Don't take her down on her mental health. How dare you, Allie?
Now I look like an a-hole again.
Fern? Who gets the vote? Snotty? A-hole Snotty or Katie? Beautiful Katie.
You guys are all punk bitches, man. You need to stand up to your spouses. So in that spirit, I'm voting for Allie.
All right. The votes have been cast. I'm looking at this text line. There is no shortage here.
Katie wins for the snot rags alone, says 336.
In the case of Allie versus her own wife.
Allie should clean everything because she looks more homely.
Damn!
There have been no shortage of ideas that have come through on the text line.
925. Jerry.
Allie is a monster. How is Katie such an effing ninja? Unbelievable. Must be the world's greatest therapist.
Mm-hmm.
She's convinced
She
me.
is a wonderful therapist.
She's convinced me now that not only is Allie wrong, but she's disgusting. All right. There's a lot of votes here, but I would like to congratulate the winner of this petty claims court, and it goes to none other than Jedi Katie.
Great.
With 78% of the votes.
That's not, you don't know what percent it is. You're not counting anything over there.
It looks to be like 78% of the votes.
I like how she said that while she was wiping her nose.
Because I'm upset. Does anybody have a snot rag?
Katie, any closing
God, you're
comments?
rotten. A monster.
Katie, anything you'd like to say as we wrap up this petty claims court?
This was very smart. I mean, everyone voted. Not everyone voted correctly, but the majority did. And honey, I love you. And listen, I do feel like things are pretty even around here. The whole issue was that you lied, that you do more. And that's just not true.
Well, now it led to everybody thinking that I just sit around blowing my nose all day and I don't do anything around the house.
And I would agree. I have more time to do things. Like, I'm trying to respect your schedule, and I love you, so don't be too...
818 says, I would like every petty claims court moving forward to be these two lesbians yelling at each other. And I think
there's
that's
plenty.
I'm gonna
Yeah, we
play
got to
this
talk
song.
about the farting next week.
Yeah, I'm going to play this song as a special tribute to Katie and Snot Rags because I think this sums up so much of your relationship to this point. Some Gautier. We'll wrap up the show with takeaways next. I'm sorry, stoners. We didn't have time today. We'll do it tomorrow on KROQ. KROQ. Klein Alley Show. Come on. Let's get to your news now. Then we get into a brand new hour of the show. The very first thing we do is give you 4 tickets to Universal Fan Fest nights, so you can go experience Universal like never before in the after hours plus. And I can't believe we're doing this. Coachella tickets after 9. Everything we've been saying on today's show could become a question. It is a Showchella quiz. Quiz questions about today's show. Even if you're just starting to listen right now, you could potentially win your way into Coachella. Weekend 1, 3-day passes. That'll be coming up just after 9 o'clock. And every answer you need is something that has already happened on today's show. So get ready to win those tickets from us. Meanwhile, 949 said, listening to you guys flirt actually makes me feel bad for AI. Well, that's the goal we're going for. Let's get into your news now. Here we go.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD News.
So, I know with the economy in jeopardy and the tariffs taking effect and crime, immigration, inflation, all of that can feel like too much. And in these uncertain times, there is only one thing that can make us all feel better, and that's more emojis. Apple has announced 8 new emojis that will be added to your phone, and including one that symbolizes how we are all feeling right now. For the first time ever, we will have an exhausted face with bags under its eyes.
Oh, I need that, man. That's.
I've just been using that like meh emoji. I don't really use emojis that much, but
Well, it's because we're all so tired all the time. Everyone's exhausted constantly, so we need an emoji that really captures that feeling.
most of the time I'm too tired to even use emojis.
That's a good point. They should. Yeah, that's the real emoji they should have. Is just send something. I'm too tired to search through
Yeah,
these.
you decide, AI.
You figure it out.
Yeah. They also will have a blue fingerprint, a purple splatter that I believe will be used for splooge, in my opinion.
That's what's it meant for.
I have no idea why they did purple splatter. It's like a GAC, like a purple paint splatter on
I
the
see that.
ground.
Like
And
someone spilled wine or stepped on a grape, but I guess that could
but
be
it's
splooge.
definitely splooge.
Right.
I mean, that's what it all is. They also have a shovel, a tree without leaves, a harp, and what appears to be one single radish, and the flag of Sark, which is a self-governing island of the Channel Islands.
Because you know how Apple, they really love to make sure that all of their devices are not used for anything that would be considered sexual. They're a big fan of keeping everything, family friendly, which is a term I hate because the reality is if we weren't all banging, there would be no families. So
And there would be no emojis.
Right, but we will figure out a way to make all of these either drug or sex related. And the problem is that they sit around before they release every emoji and they go, how can we make sure that this doesn't get used to symbolize cocaine or butt stuff? And the reality is we will find a way because we are the human race and that's what we
But they
do.
also have nerds doing it. They need like teenagers in there.
Right.
Yeah, they
You're
have
right.
one person who's like, what about a radish?
Right. And then,
What-
right.
Like, what?
You need
and
some-
a heart.
That looks like a butt plug.
Right,
You know?
yeah, you're right. You need some skateboarding teenager that's like, oh, sweet red butt plug, put it in. Because the nerds aren't thinking that way. The nerds are going, radishes have a lot of potassium. Let's get it in there. They're not thinking that way. You're right. Get a teenager in the mix.
Yeah. I don't get excited for reboots. I think a lot of them are just kind of cash grabs that are filled with nostalgic cameos and rehashing old plot lines without a whole lot of real effort. But I do not feel that way about the reboot of Naked Gun. And I'm telling you, movies like this don't exist anymore. Movies that just have the dumbest humor imaginable. The bar is low. And I think movies like this are coming back. I think the demand for the Happy Gilmore sequel proves that there's an audience for it. And the new Naked Gun starring Liam Neeson, he will be playing Leslie Nielsen's son from the original Naked Guns. The trailer just dropped. Right at the beginning of the trailer, a little girl walks into a bank that's being robbed and she's licking a lollipop and then she removes her face and she's Liam Neeson and proceeds to stab one of the burglars in the neck with the lollipop. It's so great.
What do you want, little one? Your ass.
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the police.
Who are you? Frank Drebin, Police Squad. The new version.
That's the sound of the police. This I would never be.
I mean, seeing him and
Pretty
he's like,
excited, guys.
he like lifts his leg up and he's got like, the classic white underwear with red hearts on it. And it's just so, it's so dumb, but I love it. I'm so glad that he's the one doing it too, because he became this big respected action star, but also he was able to poke fun at himself.
Although Leslie Nielsen, and I don't know if I agree with much when it pertains to comedy with Omar, but I think we can agree the greatest comedic actor of our entire lifetime was the great Leslie Nielsen.
Oh, I totally agree, because he could make something stupid, but he could deliver a stupid line with such seriousness that even somebody who was highbrow or lowbrow would find it funny.
I mean, I even watched Dracula Dead and loving it, and that
Oh
movie
my God,
was
I loved that movie.
a great movie. But he anything he was in had a chance.
But it was the worse the movie, the better it was.
I agree.
Like, hey, let's give you this complete piece of crap script, and he would be able to make it funny.
He's the best, and that was a real loss in the world of comedy. But all right, I'm still in. I will probably be at the Naked Gun
I'm
reboot.
more excited about this than the Happy Gilmore reboot.
This is coming to theaters, or is this one of those only in your living room things? It's got to be theaters,
Yeah,
right?
it's got to be theaters. I didn't read that, but I would assume that it would be theaters.
Vanessa, make it a priority that we book every single person from the new Naked Gun on this show, and we figure out a way to get to the premiere. I want to be at that thing.
It comes out August 1st.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm wide open.
Put it in your calendar.
Set it up.
And then finally, I know that a lot of people are trying to find love. Obviously, we've proved that we're not very good at finding love, given the people that we're with and also our attempt to flirt with AI earlier in the show. But when you do break up, it's going to cost you. They just did a study and they figured out that the average cost of a breakup is around $4,000. And most of the people are now seeking retail therapy. Maybe they're having more nights out with friends. They're engaging in other extreme behaviors while they're heartbroken. And all that contributes to the shock factor of the post-breakup expense.
$4,000 to end a relationship?
The average cost of a breakup is almost $4,000. It's $3,862.
Well, there's a good
Housing,
reason.
travel, dating, post-breakup spending.
Good reason to stay together. It's just to avoid that $4,000 bill. We got tickets for you. We'll give those away the second we're done with this one from No Doubt.
Hey, what's up? It's Gwen Stefani, and you are listening to Klein Alley Show on the World Famous KROQ.
Klein Alley Show.
106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous KROQ.
All right, let's go. We got tickets for you right now in a round of Johnny Doesn't Know Space. Going to talk about all things outer space. Been a lot of space talk lately. And let's find out if Johnny knows anything there is to know about space. If you'd like to be a part of that, the number to call is 800-520-1067. Up for grabs. Also have tickets for you. 4-pack. Universal Fan Fest nights. Step into the best sci-fi, fantasy, gaming, anime at the all-new Universal Fan Fest. Immersive after-hours event where you can live out your favorite fandoms like never before. One place every event night. Select nights starting April 25th through May 18th only at Universal Studios Hollywood. Blackout dates, restrictions apply. More info, KROQ.com. Win them tickets and do some Johnny Doesn't Know right now on the world famous KROQ as we talk about all things space. Also this hour, Allie's got a very interesting situation that's been presented to her as far as sleeping in a hotel with a married person. Not her wife, by the way. KROQ, we are Klein Alley Show. Johnny, thank you for your service. Johnny's in here.
Yes, sir. That
just,
wasn't that funny.
Allie just spit up her call. Your mic's on. Don't
Is
worry.
it?
Yeah.
I can't hear myself. Okay, there you go. Yeah.
It's your own headphones, you
You
idiot.
sporting the camouflage.
What happened? You came in here, we had our logos on the TVs, and then you came in here and screwed it all up.
I tried to fix it.
It was working fine. Everything looked great in
No,
here.
we had the one logo, and the other one was like showing the news. So I'm trying
now
to fix it.
Now you've completely ruined everything.
No, watch this. Hold up. Let me cook. Well,
We
there's
don't
no
have
flash
time. We
drive.
don't have
It's
time.
a great time for that.
Don't have time to let you cook, but thanks for coming in and ruining the TVs. We set those up for the last hour, and once again,
Justin just came in and
I
put
know.
a beautiful
I know.
video logo
I know, we had
on
it
one
all
of the
set.
TVs.
We wanted to make this look more visually pleasing for those that are watching on YouTube. Everything looked great. Johnny
All right,
sat down, hit a button, and ruined everything.
Last time I tried to fix anything, try to help. All right, go ahead.
But you didn't. But what was to help?
I
You
was to
couldn't
help
do it
because
early.
there was one logo
Johnny,
on one TV
Johnny,
and there's nothing on the other one, so I was trying to help with the second
And
one.
now there's no logos on
Yes.
both of the
and
TVs.
this remote accidentally activated
no,
both
the remote
TVs.
did nothing. You screwed it all up.
This remote accidentally?
Because look, it's linked to both TVs. So when I tried to aim it at one, it messed up the other one because they're both linked together.
It didn't mess up anything. You messed up
There's no
everything.
denying that. I pushed the button.
Okay,
yeah.
great. Just making sure. We had this all set up. We spent the last hour getting this looking good because these videos of Johnny in here being dumb performed very well for us on the socials. So we wanted to look as good as possible. So we spent the last hour setting this up. He comes in here, picks up a remote, hits a button, and has now ruined all of the work that went on behind the scenes
Klein,
for an
don't
hour.
insult a soldier.
That's very on brand.
I'm sorry, John.
Yeah.
Johnny's wearing his camouflage shirt today. I apologize. Thank you once again.
We can't see him anyway.
You paid the ultimate price.
I was waiting for
I
that.
don't even know if Johnny's in here right now. So somehow that remote just turned the channel by itself. Let's get into some Johnny Doesn't Know space. 800-520-1067 up for grabs tickets. Allie,
A lot of space in his brain.
no time to play the intro. Let's just get right to the game.
Okay.
All you have to do is predict whether or not Johnny will know the answers to these very simple questions about outer space. He doesn't know a lot, as we were talking about the astronauts returning.
And the astronauts that are leaving.
But-
and the all-female space crew. A lot of space talk.
Say hi to Aaron in East L.A. All you got to do is predict will he or will he not know. Here we go. Aaron, you ready to go?
Yes, sir.
All right, question.
Morning.
Good morning. Johnny's last appearance in here when he was doing Johnny Doesn't Know Money is trending and going quite viral online right now as he was unsure as to how much money 10,000 pennies actually was. But maybe he'll know this one. Neil Armstrong, Johnny, one time landed on the moon and said one small step for man, and then what did he say? Will Johnny know this, yes or no?
It's Friday. I think he will.
Wow.
Okay. Johnny, Neil Armstrong landed on the moon and said one small step for man, and then what?
One giant leap for mankind.
Whoa, Johnny.
Johnny got
good
it right.
job.
That's a soldier.
Let's go.
Hold on, Aaron. He got it right. Hang tight. That is a correct answer from Aaron. Good
He knows
prediction.
his stuff.
He's dead, right?
Say hi to Jen in Koreatown. What's up, Jen? Welcome to KROQ. Good morning.
Hi, guys. Happy Friday, sweet dish.
Happy Friday, Johnny. A group of stars that appear to resemble a shape, like the Big Dipper, or potentially a person like Orion, are called what? Group of stars that resemble a shape are called what? Will Johnny know this? Jen.
No. Sorry.
All right. With not a lot of confidence, she
And laughter.
says no. Johnny, you do look a bit dumbfounded by this, but it's a group of stars that resemble a shape, potentially a person. They are called what?
Well, it's a cluster, right? Because they're all grouped together. Like in math, I remember my algebra teacher saying a group of numbers on this side of the quadrant is a cluster. So math and space are like kind of like together.
How do you get there?
Because you got to like do a lot of math in order to build the rocket and to go into space. Same with the astronauts. So a cluster is where we're at right now.
I'm so confused by that
Yeah,
answer.
I am too. Jen, good job. Jen said you wouldn't know, and you did not know. It starts with a C, but it's not cluster.
Not
con-
cluster? Comet.
No.
Connection.
No.
Number connection.
No.
Number connection.
A const.
A constant number.
A constel.
Console.
No.
Console what?
Constellation.
Constellation?
There he is.
Constellation? Is that what that is?
There he is.
Stars have their constellations.
I
in
thought that was the
sky.
name of the ship, though, that they go into space in. Like, don't they name every ship that they go into? Voyager?
Say hi to Jasmine.
Well, they name their ships, but just that doesn't mean they're not.
USS Constellation?
Johnny, we're talking about space, I think. Still.
I don't
Jasmine, you ready to go?
Yes.
In case any of you think Johnny is faking this, we did have him on the lie detector last week, and we asked, does he ever attempt to sound dumber than he is? And he said, no, he does not, and that was the truth. So this is real deal Johnny for you. Here we go, Johnny. Johnny, in your opinion, what is the funniest planet? Will Johnny get this right? Jasmine, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Johnny, what is the funniest planet?
Pluto.
No.
Pluto?
No,
Why is that one funny?
You just said, in my opinion,
but
what
that's
is
wrong. But your opinion's wrong.
You just said
There's one planet
There's
that's
one planet.
obviously
Pluto.
the funniest one.
Pluto.
There's a funny planet.
And
Yeah, 'cause
Pluto,
it's a
and she's
planet.
right. Pluto's not
Pluto's
even
not a planet.
Yeah, but like that's the funny gag about it. It's like, is it a planet? Is it not?
That's not the funny gag.
It's like the
about it.
validation of the
There
planet.
is one funny planet that is funny at any time you hear it. It's funny.
And they're trying to change the pronunciation and make it not like this,
Yeah,
and they're not.
They're trying to make it unfunny.
Yep.
How many of them were there again? The planets? 6, right?
You don't even know, Johnny?
6.
Earth, Sun, Saturn,
Oh,
Jupiter.
God damn it.
What
do
am I?
you
what,
think
like
that
a
the sun
space-
is? Do you think the sun is a planet?
Well, we can't go there yet, so it's like, no, we can't.
You think planets are only planets if we can go there?
Listen, everything he's saying is right so far. Don't interrupt him, Allie. Johnny, the funniest planet. You're going to still stick with Pluto.
You asked in my opinion.
All right,
I think
that's
Pluto's
wrong.
funny.
That's wrong.
I think Pluto's funny.
What's the right answer?
Uranus.
Oh, is that? Oh, yeah, that is a planet.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Uranus. And they're trying to change it to Uranus.
I know. They're like, and then there's Uranus, and I'm like, no, there's not.
It's Uranus.
It's Uranus.
It's hilarious.
You know it. We know
That's
it.
toilet humor. That's not funny.
It's funny every time.
Oh my god.
It's funnier than Pluto.
Pluto's funny.
We go to George in Laguna Hills. Give him a shot. This is Johnny Doesn't Know Space. Only have time for one more. Hey, what's up, George?
Hey, good morning.
Here we go. Well, Johnny thought the sun was a planet, so I don't think he's going to get this right. But, Johnny, what are stars made of? Will Johnny know this, yes or no?
No, he will not.
All right. Johnny, what are stars made of?
Is it not fire or like an explosion of something that breaks off and it's like?
So you think stars are like broken off pieces of spaceship or something?
No, broken off pieces of like a planet that got destroyed, and it's just like stays in the atmosphere, and it stays for like years and millions of years. Because we're like, remember how we're like millions of light years away from Earth to
We are on Earth, but I think you are correct about your positioning.
I think we're currently sitting on Earth right now. Last I checked.
We're 0 miles from Earth.
We're 0 light years.
I don't even think you can capture a star.
I'm currently 1 light switch from Earth, right behind you.
Right? You can't even capture like.
So what is a star made of?
Part of a planet that was broken off or destroyed.
So you think the millions and billions of stars are all just pieces of other previous broken planets?
Look, I don't know where they came from. They just appeared one day.
Made of gas.
Gas?
That's right.
Again, hilarious.
Wait, what?
Gas from Uranus. Huh?
Really?
Yeah, that's the joke.
Oh,
so it's not real.
No, it's gas.
It is
Stars
real.
are made
Oh,
of
it's gas?
Yes.
So you can't touch it. It's just like an air
It's
thing.
burning gas.
Wow.
Did you know, Johnny, that the sun is a star?
I mean, I'm not a space guy. I'm not like a...
Clearly, you're not a space guy. Although you're a very spacey guy.
We have no problem. I mean, I don't know.
Let me ask you this, Johnny. We don't have time anymore because this was really a disgraceful performance you put on. But how high up does space start? I'm just curious. In your own opinion, when do you think space begins? How high up?
Like when it starts turning black? When the sky turns black?
Sure. Give me a number. I just want to get a sense of where you're at.
413,000 feet in the air.
413,000 feet?
72,000 feet in the air.
Oh my God, you're going less feet?
Well, because he just looked at me like that was a dumb answer, and I was just like, how am I supposed to guesstimate the feet?
62 miles from sea level is when we officially enter space.
Wow.
How many feet is that?
So not
Johnny?
even feet. That's miles. That's a whole nother. That's next week's Johnny Doesn't Know. Feet
All
and
right,
miles.
we got to take a break. Guys, you have to stop. I'm feeling dumber by listening to this. Is this guy for real?
This is tough.
Return to KROQ for the first time in a long time, and I'm now not sure why. Johnny did go to a public school. Let's let him shout out. Johnny went to multiple colleges as well. We got to take a break. Everyone, Allie, who got theirs right, that includes Jen, that includes Aaron, that includes George. And Jasmine, who's getting the tickets? Why don't you go ahead and tell us the good news?
That would be Jen. Congrats.
Oh, that's not Jen. Oh, hold on. I hung up on someone. Jen, you're still there. Hey, congratulations, Jen. You're going, all right?
I'm here. Oh my God.
Hold on 1 second. Quick break. Back with more show now.
KROQ. Guess who's back? What? Back again. Woohoo! Kevin's back.
Find that hard to believe.
Got no friends. Kevin's back. 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 KROQ. Wow, 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 wow. KROQ. Wow, 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 wow.
She's a
spaghetti girl. We've created a monster. Nobody listens to KROQ no more. They laid off everybody that was here. But if you want KROQ, this is what we'll give you. Mediocrity and Klein. When he was last here, ratings dropped fast, a lot quicker than my stocks. When he got locked out of KROQ's kitchen, guess what? Kevin's back. Na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Fix your Bentatana tuna, turn it up a little. You waited this long, never say never. Kevin's back and introducing the Red Hot Chili Peppers. We gave him a job, a new endeavor, but he ain't too smart and he ain't very clever. So the FCC just lets him be, cause they cannot understand what he's saying. They tried to shut him down, ha 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 he. We put Kevin back on the frequency. Well, we tried to reach out to Bean, but he wouldn't return our calls, you see, cause we're all bankrupt. Odyssey, and put Kevin back on the frequency. Well, we need a little controversy, so everybody just follow our lead and pretend you are kind of happy that Kevin's back on the frequency. KROQ, what did we do? What did we do? KROQ.
That song ended. That ended. So now we're going to talk. That's over. That is over. You dumbass.
Kevin Ryder's back. Weekdays from 3 to 7 on KROQ.
Question, it's KROQ, Klein Alley Show. If you're in a relationship with someone, married, dating, whatever, and they want to do something to alter their physical appearance, do you feel that as the person that is their plus one, their significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, do you have any input in if they should or could do it? Or do you think
What
it's
would
their...
define like a major change?
Well, in my case, I got this...
porn stash?
It's not a porn stash. Just a regular, good old-fashioned mustache.
You look like a plumber.
Yeah, thank you. I don't think anyone looks at me and goes, that guy could do porn. But they definitely...
You could look like you could direct it.
But by the way, I could definitely do porn better than I could do plumbing. I mean,
You definitely look sleazier with it on.
Thank you. That's the
It's
look I'm
actually
going for.
because of the shirt you're wearing, too. It kind of looks like you're about to recruit Johnny.
Johnny, you're in. Pack it up. Pack it up and sack it up. You're in.
Are you serious about that mustache, or is this for, jokey joke like you've done before, and just to know your wife?
It's so funny. You're the third person that has said to me, is that serious? What an insulting thing to say to someone. Is that...
You would do it as a joke, though.
Yes.
That's who you are.
Yeah, I am doing it as a joke.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it more...
So is mine. See?
What's that? Why do you have a mustache, Allie? That's even funnier. She's got a real push broom one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this, no, but I mean, my wife said, like, when she goes and does stuff with her hair, she doesn't ever ask. I mean, she'll say things like, hey, I'm thinking about cutting my hair short. And I'm like, well, whatever.
I know, but for her, I bet it's like she thinks it's a dramatic change, and it's something that you would not even notice.
No, I don't. Sometimes she'll come in and she'll be like, did you notice anything? And I'm like,
I got a long swoop, bang.
Right.
And
I'm
you're
like, what did you do?
what?
She's like, it's like a quarter of an inch longer or shorter than yesterday. I'm like,
Longer.
how would I know that? I don't know that. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't care. Like, she got another piercing in her ear.
She did?
Like another, one of the top top
midlife
holes.
crisis. Why are you getting your ear pierced at
I don't know.
middle age?
But she, asked me if I noticed it. And, of course, I didn't. I didn't notice it.
What, Vanessa?
I think if she wants to pierce her ear at middle age, she
No,
can't.
First of all, she will not like the fact that she's being referred to as middle-aged. That's going to bother her more than anything.
I'm just saying she's a woman who's married and has 2 kids, and I feel like at that point you kind of have your look figured out.
Yeah, she's a cool mom.
But I think, is that why she's doing it? To be like, I'm a cool mom?
I don't know why she's doing it. I didn't really ask. But maybe she's sleeping with the piercer. I don't know. She just came back and said, do you notice any more holes on me? And I said, I'd like to. And then she said, there's one here in the top of my ear. I said, oh, all right, whatever. But I wouldn't say
perfect fit.
You have to.
Is this because she wanted to one up her kid who got her ears pierced?
I think she was trying to one up my daughter.
Are you serious?
Oh, fine, I'm gonna go to Claire's.
Yeah, you get 2. Yeah. She was in Claire's too, with that big lollipop, so she could look young enough to get the free one. No, but in all seriousness, do you think that there needs to be a clearing with if you're going to dye your hair? I'm talking about drastic change now. Facial tattoo, dyeing of the hair to a different color, shaving head. Is that something your partner needs any input on at all?
Oh, yeah.
What?
I think,
That's crazy.
My wife has always had bangs ever since I met her.
Yeah,
and
she does all over the place. Bangs on the
All
side.
right. No,
bangs your
no,
friends.
not those kinds of bangs.
No one loves bangs more than your wife.
She will never not have bangs. Never.
That is
She
so
needs
true.
to have bangs. Okay. This isn't going well. The bangs on her face.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow, okay.
Above her eyebrows.
Yeah.
All right.
She's always had them.
Just everywhere.
Just
huh?
bangs everywhere.
All right, forget it.
Summer bangs, winter bangs,
And I will not allow her to not bang.
vacation bangs.
I'm just saying it's her signature thing. Okay.
You're not helping
The
yourself.
hair look is always what it's going to be.
Yeah.
She knows that that's the bet. Like, the point I'm making about the ear piercing and about all of it is that once you're a certain age, I feel like you have the good stuff figured out. Like, I look best like this. I've tried all the other things. I've tried all the other hair colors. I've tried this, that. I know that this is the best. You're a work in progress.
Yeah. No, but you just lost a bunch of weight, and now you're, a quote-unquote hot alley. But people always want to kind of change themselves.
Couldn't have sounded more disgusted saying that. You're
Control your down flex to finish your sentence.
Right. So I think Omar's right. I think sometimes we look like a work in progress. We haven't figured it out yet, so we're trying things. I'm thinking
Well,
maybe.
that mustache isn't making you hotter. You know that.
Well, I don't know that. I was actually hit on by a guy yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
What did he call you, Daddy?
He said, this credit card's not working. Do you have another one? And I said, yeah, hold
I
on
said,
one
stop
second."
hitting on me.
All right, leave it alone, sir. All right, we can take a break. A lot of thoughts on this. We'll be right back. We got Freeway Feud to get to.
Freeway Feud?
Freeway, the mustache got in my mouth. Hold on. Choking on my mouth. Regardless, I think it's fat. show today or could be happening right now.
All right. I was given a bit of a proposition, or at least a situation that needed solving. Now, for my trip, we are all flying to Vegas, meeting there, staying in a hotel for a night, and then we're meeting in the lobby at 4 a.m. to take some kind of a bus to a train to a plane to the canyon.
Allie is doing some sort of a weird hiking survival week. Sounds like the kind of thing you would do to a kid that had a drug problem, where you got to put him on a scared straight week to live in the wilderness.
It's a rafting trip through the Grand Canyon for a week. We're covering 288 miles. People say it's a dream, life-changing experience.
Right. And the only good part of the trip, from when you've explained this to me, is that you get to go to Vegas. And the whole thing, even this part is terrible. They don't go to a good, fun Vegas hotel. They go to one of those like off the strip, no casino hotels. And then they have to wake up at 2 a.m. or something like that and go on a bus to take them to the
Yeah, so I actually have to get up just as early as I normally do for work.
Like when Allie started explaining this trip to me, she goes, "It starts in Vegas." I go, "Wow, you got me. I'm already in. What a great trip."
I'm like, but I have to go to bed at 7.
Don't worry. We're at the Marriott, not on the Strip. And there's nothing fun to do at it. And we're
I heard the Venetian's closed.
Yeah. All right. So then,
I also got an email from the hotel this morning and said, "We look forward to welcoming you to the exciting city of Las Vegas. We wanted to share that we are having a little work done."
Oh, the hotel is great.
We are in the midst of a transformation, including the new great room, restaurant, bar, and marketplace.
Hi, I'm the hotel. That sounds like a terrible situation.
The new great room.
Yeah, so you now...
So all of us are staying in this hotel, and when we booked the trip, most of us booked a room. Now, and everybody on the trip that I had known of were all women. So there was 5 of us, all women. Now, there's a straight guy, that has been added to the trip kind of last minute. Just a couple weeks ago, we learned that this other guy was able to come.
Is this like a woman's empowerment trip or something?
No. It just happened to be women in this friend circle that are going.
Right.
Now, this guy has a wife and a child, young child, but he's going by himself. Now, he went to go reserve a hotel room, and there was nothing available. The hotel was sold out. So now the question is...
There's a billion hotels there.
Yeah, but he wants to stay in the hotel where we all have to meet in the lobby at 4 a.m. To stay at another hotel is kind of inconvenient. But I did present that as an option. Why not stay in another hotel? Instead, the option that was presented was, hey, Brian needs a place to stay. Who's willing to have Brian in their room? And I was like, well, he should just get his own room, right? I mean, there are... Of the 5 women, 2 of them are gay.
2 of the women are gay.
Yeah, me and 1 other.
So you guys can share a room or can't share a room?
So I pitched, I'd probably be one of the best people to share a room because nothing's going to happen.
Oh, I got it. This is why it's interesting, because now you've got a married guy, and if you look at this on paper, it seems fishy. Guy spends night in Vegas hotel room with woman who's not white. But if Allie, the unattractive lesbian, is the option, then all of a sudden it becomes a lot more palatable.
Excuse me, there's another unattractive lesbian he can pick from too. No, I don't know what she looks like. But I offered up my room because not only do I have a 2-queen bed situation.
You want him to split the cost.
Well, that's a possibility.
Right, of course. I know why, Allie. Let's be honest.
It's only one night. If I get control of the TV and I get to control the bedtime, then I'm willing to let him stay in my room.
What's the bed situation? 2 beds or 1?
I just said 2 queens.
2 queens.
I have 2 queens. But then one of the other people on the trip offered to have him bunk up with her. And she is straight and single. And they've known each other for a long time as friends. But they all kind of know each other, including the wife. And I'm wondering why this is the situation that suddenly is happening, to the point where they said, hey, I'm going to share with Brian, but I only have a king. Can we swap rooms so that we can have the double queen room?
Oh, so interesting. So rather than stay with you in the room you have set, which is a room that already has 2 beds, and you're a gay lady and he's a straight man, and there's zero sexual chemistry.
Easy situation.
He's asking to avoid staying with you if you can swap over, take the king bedroom by yourself, and then he'll move into the room with 2 beds, but with the straight woman.
Straight single woman.
And
this involves me calling the hotel and adding them to my reservation so that they can check into my hotel room and I can check into theirs.
Maybe they have a relationship that's full of trust, and the wife completely trusts him and has no problem with him staying in a room with another straight woman.
Yes, but think about if you had this situation. What would be okay
Well,
in your
there's not one part of this situation that applies to my relationship. I wouldn't be staying at this hotel you're at. I wouldn't be going on this stupid rafting trip.
Okay,
I
but
mean, nothing I would
if
be
there
doing
was
here.
a situation where, well, Klein doesn't have a place to stay, here are the options.
Right.
Would your wife be okay with you staying with a single straight woman, regardless of how long you've been friends with that person, that nothing's happened?
I think that she would have an issue. I feel like it would definitely lead to
Lots of conversations, right?
It would lead to at least a conversation. And would I be thrilled with her? I mean, let me think about this. Would I be thrilled with her staying? Because she used to travel a lot of times, and she, she's in fashion, so most of the guys are super gay, so it was never really a concern of mine. She was like, I'm going to stay with Chow or something. I was like, great, stay with Chow.
Yeah.
I don't care. It doesn't affect me at all.
Yeah, but you never know if there's a random situation where I've talked to plenty of gay guys that have hooked up with women on trips.
You have?
Yeah.
Well, then they're not gay guys.
Well, anything can happen, especially in a place like Vegas. You never know.
But
Not
aren't-
to shake your trust, sorry.
But
I'm sure everything's fine.
aren't you all loading up and ready to hit the river with your crap cans and your personal toilet? It's like there's nothing sexy about this. Nothing about
yeah,
what
but the first night is.
But the-
949 said these two are planning to F for sure.
Well, maybe they are.
Why are they going through such effort to make sure that they're the ones staying with each other? Isn't that a bit of a red flag?
I would rather stay with someone that I have comfortability with than someone that I don't know at all. And I guess you're the stranger, and he's got a comfortability with this girl, even if she is straight and single, and even if he is married and straight. The wife, it's this guy's wife that I think should probably get the ultimate say.
Right, she
What-
should be the one to
Yeah,
decide.
what-
And wouldn't she go with random lesbian stranger over longtime single straight friend?
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of guys, the concept of staying with a lesbian in theory sounds fun and hot. They haven't met you yet, but in theory, I'm saying, right?
Thank you so much. I am fun. All right, anything can happen with me. 323, I don't know what the answer is in this situation. All I know is that, Allie, you are a doormat.
Yeah, it does feel like whatever's happening here, you're being somehow cuckolded. Like you're still either they're cucking you for your room, or like you.
Well,
could,
I obviously got the better room reservation.
right, because you got the 2 beds, but why would you need 2 beds if it's just you?
One of them is for the suitcase.
Yeah, it seems unnecessary.
One of them is for food. One of them is for the random crap I want to throw on my bed, the dirty towels, all of it.
I'm very curious as to what is the right answer here.
I'm still 323. I'm trying to figure out why he is comfortable doing this in the first place. Why is he so fine staying with her?
Right. And why? And just out of curiosity, why would he want to go on this? This trip sounds like it's a big, like, rah go women. I know, Allie, you don't think women count, but I do.
It's not a rah go women trip.
It feels like it.
No, it's
Feels
a
like
Grand Canyon trip for all ages except 12 and up, and all genders and everybody.
But it feels like everyone you know is all women.
In my group, yes, but I'm sure the ratio is half and half. At least it is in a lot of the videos I've been watching. I don't think. I think that men love nature crap like this.
No, not me.
Not you, but a lot of other guys do.
Jake
Omar, you
would.
would love a trip
No,
like
no.
this, wouldn't you?
I would love this. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
But Omar,
And he's a man's man.
Omar, let me ask you, because you're in a similar situation. You're married to a woman. You're a straight man.
Mm-hmm.
Would your wife be cool with you sharing a hotel room with another woman that was a single straight woman, or would she rather you shared the hotel room with Allie, the homely lesbian?
Okay, can we stop calling me a homely lesbian? I'm not
Probably
homely.
the homely lesbian.
Thank
I
you.
guess. Yeah.
Thanks, Omar.
Mm-hmm.
But your wife, but it's interesting because Omar's wife actually does like Allie.
Yeah, and if I was
true.
going to stay in a room with Omar's wife, probably some stuff would happen. 909, they call him
I'm
Chow
not going
because
on
he
the trip.
loves chowing down on Klein's wife.
All right. I knew that's why his name was Chow. He's like, hey, I'm Chow.
And I'm hungry.
All right. Well, there you have it. I don't know the answer here.
This guy would rather risk his marriage than stay with Allie.
I mean, that's really what's going on here. It really is unbelievable, KROQ. Alley Show in just a moment. Oh, Jake's in here. Look how thin Jake looks already, huh? There he is. Skinny Jake. Almost didn't see you come in here.
You know, Jake didn't even have the energy or strength to work out yesterday.
Wow.
Because he's been so malnourished, he's not interested in food
Great.
anymore. So he was like doing his little 100 push-ups or whatever, and he could barely get halfway through. And he was like,
Hey, I think Jake's going to be a whole new and improved Jake. This show usually makes all of our personal lives far worse. That is what's going to happen to me with this nipple piercing. Do we have an update from the lawyers, Vanessa? Any updates this morning? Or they don't work on Fridays like everyone else around here that has a high-paying job? People that get paid the most money around here work the least, it seems like. What's up?
so true.
No new updates from the lawyers.
Well, I mean, then if the guy's not working, then I think the piercer's going to come next hour and jab me so we can just get this over with.
Klein.
And if I lose, Vanessa, I'm serious. If I lose the job over it, then so be it.
We're not going to do that, because if you lose the job, you know who's the bad guy? Me.
Oh, you've always
Well.
been the bad guy, Vanessa.
Regardless, I don't want to. I can't. I'm not going to leave. I don't want to spend the weekend being called pussy all over Instagram because I didn't get my nipple pierced today. I don't want that. So I'd rather just get it done.
Go to the shop. Let's do it.
I know. Chow's going to chow on you.
All right. Well, we got that hopefully coming up next hour on the show. We do have a chance for you to get into Coachella. I've just been handed some top secret questions, quiz questions, Coachella quiz. Be the first thing we do once we get into the 9 o'clock hour. So hopefully you've been paying attention to everything that's happened to this point in the show. So
Is one of the questions going to be, why is Klein pussy bass bitch?
All right. Thank you. Well said.
Why is Klein a pussy bass bitch?
That's going to be one of the questions. I'll add that to the list.
Pussy bass.
We will take a quick break, and we'll be back with more show next.
Come on.
All right. You need some Friday vibes? I'll give them to you. You want Friday vibes?
yes.
Hold on. Here it is. This is the new and
We're
improved.
already late. Let's just.
And
I think we're
updated.
done for
Here
the
it
show.
is. Here it is. Here you go.
Is it worth it? Let me work it. I put my thing down, flip it, then reverse it. If you got a big, let me search it to find how hard I'm gonna work you. Come on.
Shohei Ohtani listens to Klein Alley Show on KROQ. Not the baseball player, but Shohei, the dog groomer from Porter Ranch. Either way, we'll take it. The world famous KROQ. KROQ.
That's Jake driving back to California. Oh, there he goes again. It's KROQ Klein Alley Show. Just at some point in your life, you will be asked, sign here if you want the insurance, or click on all these boxes and sign there if you would like to ignore. And you make a decision in that moment. Am I going to bet on myself? Am I going to bet against myself? Used to be pretty easy. I think universally people just agreed, always get the insurance, never against an ace playing blackjack, but always when renting a car, because it was like, now I can just drive completely careless, which is a great way to go through life.
Yeah, and see, for me, that's not the way I want to go through it. I always bet on myself, which I should never do, but I never opt in for extra insurance for anything. I've never had Apple Care. I've never had extra car insurance. And the one time I did get extra insurance on a rental car, something did happen.
So it's good you had it. And that usually should have been a lesson to yourself. It's like, wow, I did the right thing. Now, other people argue once you sign up for the extra insurance, whatever it is, sometimes it's like an extra insurance on a rental or extra insurance, home insurance. Like you said, the phone one. I've seen people decline insurance at an Apple store, be handed the phone, immediately drop it, the thing shatters, and the person's like, you just said you didn't want the insurance.
Yeah, but sometimes now they do the 3 free months of Apple Care.
Sometimes, but sometimes not. And
every time I'm on the phone with somebody and something customer service, and they're like, "Did you have insurance?" And I'm like, "I'm not sure." And they're like, "Well, let me check for you." And the answer is always, "No, you did not." And it's such a dejected feeling when you're like, "God."
Oh yeah, when they do that check, and you're like, "I know I didn't, but maybe there's a mistake."
know.
Yeah, because Apple, you talk about like Best Buy too. They'll do that thing. You buy anything at all, buy a TV
or an extra warranty,
right? And they kind of explain to you on the phone, like, on average, if something goes bad here, on average, repairs are going to cost you way more than you're going to pay for this thing. So you kind of get like talked into. Well, anyway, Jake did not buy the insurance on his rental car. He got into a pretty bad accident. The car's all jammed up. And
I would say, how much do you think the damages are? I would say in the thousands.
Oh,
for
on
sure.
Jake's
Definitely
car.
in the thousands.
Yeah.
You do anything to any car, you're starting at 1,000 now. I mean, I don't even think you can get anything under 1,000, no matter
I'm
what the car
surprised
is.
he was able to make it home because I thought during the road trip the front bumper was going to fall off.
Yeah, it kind of looks like the place it was hit is a very. I did get in a car accident that was hit in that exact place, and it totaled the car. Even though it didn't look that bad, it's about where it was hit, and if they have to replace enough stuff, they just call it total.
I put some tape on it.
Candy, what happened to you? We're hearing your stories now of times that you neglected or declined any sort of additional coverage and it came back to bite you in the ass. What happened?
Yeah, on vacation in Grand Cayman Islands, didn't purchase the insurance. My ex-husband totaled the car. We were held by customs and couldn't board the plane until we paid for it.
What was the cost of that?
Over $5,000.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
And it was his fault.
It was his fault. He rear-ended somebody, didn't buy the insurance, and couldn't leave the island until we paid.
Jake, this is going to be your future, my friend. Except that instead of the island, it's going to be right here in Southern California.
That's worse.
And to have to pay someone $5,000 in a foreign country and have to deal with all of that, the fraud protection, and to try and get the withdrawal, and I mean all that
But
stuff.
$5,000 in pesos isn't very much.
But Jake, I rented a car recently, and I remember because I also declined. Because supposedly I have coverage or whatever. If you have insurance, depending on your insurance you have on your regular car, sometimes it transfers with you over to a rental. Your Showchella quiz coming up next hour. Of course, a lot of people leaving messages on the GOAT line, especially about the return of the great Kevin Ryder.
Hey guys, now that Kevin's back, it seems that KROQ's actually investing money into itself.
Yes.
So are we ever going to get actual merch? Come on. Come on.
All right, enough with the come-ons. I get it.
Come on.
I don't. That is funny. Keep it going. We'll get to your news next on KROQ. K-Rock, we are Klein Alley Show. Lots going on, and a quiz that could send you to Coachella starting in about 5 minutes here. If you've been paying attention to the show, or you're just great at guessing things, hopefully you've been listening to the entire show today, because every answer you need has already happened on the airwaves. By the way, someone said 949 about piercing your nipple. Klein, even if you get fired, just go pierce your nipple. It's not like we have a Hall of Fame legend just waiting in the wings of K-Rock again. All right, great. Yes, we all are well aware. Kevin Ryder's back, baby. And so maybe that's part of their big
That's why
plan.
our boss is so supportive.
Maybe that's why they're saying just pierce it, get fired, and then they'll just move Kevin here. I don't know. Whatever it is. Regardless, we got an exciting hour, a lot of choose-your-own adventures coming up over the next 60 minutes together here at K-Rock. But first, your news.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD News.
All right, celebrity break-ins have been commonplace lately, especially people breaking into the homes of athletes because they're an easy target. Their schedule is public knowledge. You know exactly when they're home, when they're away. And the latest celebrity to have their home broken into is Dodgers star pitcher Blake Snell. This happened earlier this week at his home in Seattle, and they said that the burglar broke a window to get inside. Nobody was at home at the time of the incident, but they don't really know. They're still kind of figuring out what was actually taken. They said they're working with the victim and the representatives to figure out what was stolen, and they're trying to investigate the burglary. But this is something that is happening all the time, and the thing is, people can come in visit from a country and then decide, hey, we're going to rob a few places. We have a 30-day visa. And then when they go back, they bring all their stuff with them, or they sell it in America and then go back to, their country, and then they just do it all over again. Yep. And they're trying to figure out what groups are doing this, because I know one theory was that it was, the cartels or mafia or something like that. But those are very big organizations that are making plenty of money on drugs. So they really wouldn't waste their time with memorabilia and
they
fancy shoes and jewels.
Easy targets. They're not looking to be violent. I heard, and Vanessa would probably agree, a lot of them are from Colombia. And
No.
Right, Vanessa?
I don't agree.
Right.
No.
And they come here and they say, look, easy.
I don't agree.
I don't agree.
Vanessa said it. It's these gangs from Colombia are coming into this country.
No.
Well said.
And they are, that's what they say. And then they take your stuff.
And this is why they want us back, Klein.
That's
Keep
right.
it up, my friend.
All right.
No, she's right. It's not. You shouldn't
No.
assume that people from any country are doing it. But I think one of the last ones they broke up was a group from Venezuela that was doing it. And so it just happened to be that was the country. But I think that doesn't really matter. It's just that there's groups of crappy people in every country.
And they realize that we have no repercussions here, so they do it, and they
there are
slap
plenty
on
of
the
people
wrist.
who live in this country and are citizens that are very crappy as well.
Oh, of course,
and
we
will
have-
break into our homes at any given time.
We have tons of crappy people here, and there's plenty of people that visit that aren't crappy.
I
So
would imagine we have probably the most crappy people.
we got the crappiest people here in America.
Oh, yeah.
We've done this.
All
USA, baby. USA. But I do think that there's a good business opportunity here for athletes and celebrities, especially those that travel a lot, because everyone likes to follow these athletes on Instagram. They should have rental Rottweilers where you don't have you don't want a dog. Just all you need is a few videos on your Instagram of you playing with, quote, your new dog and these aggressive, scary
New
dogs.
aggressive German Shepherd dog.
Whatever they are, and that's enough to scare some people away that are casing your place, because they know you're traveling, especially if you're on some of these baseball players, they're on a 2-week road. They're gone forever.
Yeah,
And if
but
they're-
wouldn't you have a house sitter? Wouldn't that solve the problem?
Think about
Have
it.
somebody be there. I just assume rich people have people at all their homes.
That's what I thought too.
That's what
like
everyone
maids and groundskeepers.
Totally. It's
all
like
this
Downton
stuff.
Abbey, where they're just constantly cleaning and recleaning the house.
Didn't someone on the show suggest bringing back moats?
Well, that was you.
Right. Well, good idea, Klein.
No one's ever done that.
Let's get some effing moats
Didn't
going.
someone on the show?
Yeah,
Good
because
job,
none
Klein.
of
I
these-
mean,
no
if there
house-
is anybody that could afford it, it would be the rich.
Start building moats, rich people, and trust me when I say you will not hear a lot of robberies with houses that have moats.
Because then you'll just hear about all the piranhas
Yeah, right.
that are eating you.
Yeah, gang of robbers eaten by piranhas
You know what you
outside
should
of.
really do is take all of those crazed sea lions
Oh yeah.
that are getting,
put them in front of the
turning
houses.
zombified by the toxic algae bloom.
So try get a sea lion moat.
Yeah, get a sea lion moat, and then anytime you try and go near the moat, those sea lions are going to eat you.
Yeah, you're not robbing that
Take
house.
that, burglar.
You don't want that.
All right, in a March Madness style bracket, who would win worst parking situation in LA? A bracket was posted, and it got down to the finals, which were Koreatown versus the Hollywood Bowl. And then I think one of the other finalists was the Trader Joe's in Silver Lake. And
Any Trader Joe's parking lot is the winner of this.
yeah, but I think the one in Silver Lake specifically is just a complete S show. But K-Town won out. It was voted the worst parking situation in Los Angeles, and Hollywood Bowl parking situation was the next.
I don't know. I've had pleasant parking experiences in K-Town. Hollywood Bowl, I don't think I've ever had a pleasant parking experience.
No,
Zero
and
times.
I think
You
that's
get stacked in there.
well, that's what I first learned about the Hollywood Bowl is never park there.
Right.
But if you have a plan B or a plan C, then you can figure out how to do it. But I've heard so many stories of people that were like, yeah, the show got out at 11, but I was in the parking lot until 1:30 in the morning.
There's a CVS right by the radio station on the corner of La Cienega and Beverly. Their parking lot is also the pits. I mean, it's one of the worst parking lots I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's a one-way situation. The spots aren't big enough.
But I think with K-Town, there's so much in that small space. Like there's venues in there, there's good restaurants, there's a lot kind of jam-packed in a small area. Maybe that's why it won out. And then finally, the red carpet is a seedy place. Every network is shoving microphones in your face, trying to get any newsworthy soundbite to create drama, get clicks. But don't go to Bill Burr for that. He was on a red carpet for the Conan. It was a big event for the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor. He won the 2025 Mark Twain Prize. So Bill Burr was on the red carpet, and he was asked about Luigi Mangione, among other things, and he got pissed.
What's your reaction to Luigi Mangione? I was reading up, that perhaps you've been supportive of what he did.
If you were reading up, I don't think you read up on it. Because I said what I felt about it, and I said what a lot of people said.
Some people took it that way. Could you clarify what you think?
No, I'm not going to just have some controversial moment so you can get clicks. I'm not doing that. I'm here for Conan. I'm not doing all of this. What are you going to bring up next? The Middle East? I went to summer school 3 out of 4 years in high school. I'm not qualified to talk about this.
You said about Elon that he was ruining Earth, I saw on The View. What do you think of all the boycotts, like even the violence?
I don't watch the news. I watch Instagram. I watch people wipe out on motorcycles. I watch lions and hyenas fight each other. And I don't think you should be asking a comedian. You're a journalist.
Comedians are on top of current events.
No, that's weak. You guys need to have balls again, which you don't.
Wow, what a beautiful quote.
That's awesome.
Good, Bill Burr. Good on you.
Klein Alley Show.
106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous KROQ.
Thank God it's Friday!
Come on. Let's get into it. What a weekend. We're here. We made it. Well done. This hour, Coachella tickets. Hopefully you've been paying attention. Some people have been sharing with us the difficulty that has been listening to this show since 6 a.m. this morning, but it'll all be worth it if you get through and are able to answer these questions correctly. Some would argue impossible, but we did require you to listen to this show. And some people do claim, I don't care about the quiz. I listen to the show for 4 hours every day.
Great, and you'll have great chances of winning.
Coachella tickets, a little Showchella quiz coming up in a few moments, so anyone can call and try, but I'm just going to warn you right now. These questions all come from today's show, things that happen on today's show. And you had to have listened probably at least a little bit in 6, a little bit in 7, a little bit in 8, or else you will not do this. You will not get these right. And you will
not do this.
You will not.
You will not even do this.
So I hope you paid attention so we can send you to Coachella if you think you're up for the challenge of answering the Showchella quiz. I recommend you call us at 800-520-1067. Lots going on this hour. That's not the only thing we have for you, but let's kick it off with some Green Day because they will be at Coachella, and potentially after this song, you will be too.
I walk a lonely road, the
Just imagine you being there in the desert, Coachella, checking out Green Day, headlining one of the nights. You don't have to think about which band you'll see because you'll be seeing all of them. 3-day passes for weekend one of Coachella, and they will be yours if you've been paying attention to today's show in any way, shape, or form. It's time for the Showchella quiz. Questions about today's show. Is it self-serving for us? Absolutely. Did we force you to listen to more of the show than you probably wanted to just to get Coachella tickets?
Oh, absolutely.
Of course we did. But we got a prize this good.
We have to torture you a little.
We have to figure out how to maximize it for our benefit. And since we can't use the tickets, and we will give them to you in a moment, the very least we can hope for is that you paid attention to today's show. Got a bunch of questions here. These are all things that happened starting at 6 a.m. this morning on the show. And if you have not been paying attention, you didn't wake up early enough, maybe, just maybe, you're able to get through and potentially somehow win tickets just by guessing. But the reality is, it's going to be tough. These questions are not easy.
Really?
Some call them impossible. But if you listen to the show this morning or watched along on YouTube, you should be able to get some of these right, I would think.
Yeah, and, sometimes I think that little things become big things that are very memorable. And, for example, come on.
Come on.
That's right.
There could be more moments like that happening today.
Technically, that was yesterday's show.
It's very much today's show as well.
The way it works is as follows. Whoever we pick up, you have to get 3 in a row correct. Which means if you get 2 right, then screw up the third one, we move on to another contestant. Then they will have to get 3 in a row right.
This is going to take forever.
This could take a long-ass time. I'm going to warn you, strap in. But if we finally decide, like we do with a lot of things, not worth it, let's give up, we may just say caller 20 gets the ticket. So you have a chance. I'm just saying, if you want to go to Coachella, start with Marty in Anaheim. Good morning, Marty.
Good morning.
How
Good
much
morning.
of-
K-Rock's up fine?
How much of today's show did you listen to?
I think a good amount. 6 a.m. Been up, working.
All right, so he claims he's been listening since 6 a.m. So if that's the case, you should be able to get these questions right. Question number 1. We met a man earlier this morning through the GOAT line that said he first discovered our show. How? How did he first discover our show? A new listener that discovered our show, but in which way? How did he discover it?
Hold on. You're breaking up. I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Oh, boy.
How did the guy on the GOAT line find our show?
First, new listener, he discovered our show, but how did he discover our show?
Damn, I don't know.
All right.
Oh, my
he's
God.
out. This
Been
guy
listening since 6 a.m.
Now, to be fair, this was a message that I believe we played just after 6 a.m. I mean, this was really early in the show today. But that'll weed out the people that are making stuff up. Victoria, I will start with you. Same question. We met a man earlier today on the GO line. He claims he discovered our show. But how did he discover our show?
He discovered your show while listening at work.
So sorry. That is incorrect.
I think this is going to make us feel really bad about ourselves.
Hey, look, it's hard to keep information in your head for 4 hours. Pomona, we say hi to Michael. This is the first question. They only get harder.
Yep.
Listen to a message this morning on the GO line of a guy that wanted to let us know how he first discovered our show. How did he discover our show?
Yes, he discovered, I believe he was on his way to work. He was driving, he was driving, and then I believe his phone wasn't working, and he turned on the radio, and he laughed so hard he had to park on the side of the road.
Wow, hold on. Let's find out if you're right.
But just wanted to say I've been listening to the Klein and Alley show for a year now on my way to work, and then I'll catch the podcast after work. I was listening. I got hooked on your show. Basically, the way that happened is I had to do a rental car one day, and there was no way to sync up my phone. So I would just listen to the radio on my way to work and started to go through channels until I landed on KROQ. I don't remember what you guys were talking about at the time, but I do remember laughing so hard the first time I had to legit pull over.
All right, so that is the correct answer. Congratulations. You got 1 right.
Come on.
You get 2 more right. 2 more right, all things from today's show. And this is, who is this? Michael and Pomona? That doesn't sound like a Michael. Is your name Michael, or am I saying your name wrong?
You're saying it right.
Oh, you're saying it right. Okay. Oh, no, hold on. Hold on. I'm so
What
confused.
are you doing? You keep going with the lady, dude.
I thought it was, they got the lines crossed here. Natalie, there's 2 people from Palmdale on. I'm very confused. Hey, Natalie, sorry about that.
There's
you got
not
that,
2 people from Palmdale.
You got that right. Well, whatever. You got the first question right. It's Showchella, questions about today's show. It's question number 2. Let's see if you can get this right if you've been paying attention. 2 more right, you're going to Coachella. Allie was hitting on an AI bot earlier in the show today, and she said something that crossed the line to the point where the AI bot no longer wanted to flirt with her. What did Allie say that crossed the line with the AI chatbot?
You're sexy. You sound sexy.
I said specifically she sounds like a...
Said something. You're like so close. I don't want to count this against you yet, but I am giving you a chance to try to make this right.
She sounds like one of the phones.
I'm sorry, we cannot
Damn
accept
it.
that. Off to a good
We'll
start.
have to go to somebody else in Palmdale. Who's this?
She listened to we got 9 people from Palmdale on. Let me say hi to in Downey. This is Christian, I believe. Hey, Christian.
Hey, how you guys doing?
All right. How much of the show did you listen to today?
Mostly all of it.
All right. Let's see if you can get yourself Coachella tickets. We'll start with this question. Allie was hitting on a chat GPT AI robot earlier, and she crossed the line when she said what to the chat GPT robot?
I believe he called her a dyke.
There you go.
Let's find out if you're right.
All right, well, you sound like a dyke, so I'm sure we'll enjoy ourselves. I'll scissor your timbers.
I'm here to keep our chat respectful and friendly.
Oh, shut up, lady.
That is a correct answer. You're off to a great start. You get 2 more right. You're going to Coachella question 2. There has been a new produced song produced by DJ Omar Khan based on something that happened on the show that was originally sung with no production. What song was produced that we debuted today on KROQ?
Kevin's Back.
Oh, man.
That's tough because
That's tough.
Technically that is correct as well. We did play that today, but that's not the one.
That was new yesterday.
That was new yesterday, but I understand
That's
why.
also the great Trevor Shand.
Yeah, Omar didn't do that one, but everyone's giving Omar credit. Was there another song that was produced today on KROQ that you heard for the very first time? What is it?
Come on.
Dude, it was a Missy Elliott. It was a Missy Elliott song.
Yeah.
It was a.
Is it worth it? Let me work it. I put my thing down, flip it, then reverse it. If you got a big, let me search you to find how hard I'm gonna work you. Come on.
All right, Christian. I'm going to give you that.
Thing ever.
It comes down to this final question. If you get this one right, Coachella tickets are yours. 3-day weekend 1 tickets to Coachella. If you get it wrong, we have to take a break regardless, and we're going to have to do this all over again. Please get this
Just
right.
ask him what our names are.
Question,
come on,
question number 3. This is the one that matters most now. What does Johnny think that stars are made of? Johnny was in here for a round of Johnny Doesn't Know. He gave us an answer. It was the wrong answer. But what does Johnny think stars are made of?
All right, I think I'm going to Coachella because he thinks that they are made of broken pieces of planets or just broken pieces of space.
That is absolutely correct. You paid attention to the show. Congratulations. You're going to Coachella.
Thank you, guys. I'm so excited to go see Green Day.
All right, enjoy that. Lots of other bands will be there as well.
Yeah, Jimmy Eat World's going to be there.
Whoa!
Wow.
The Prodigy's going to be there.
Change my pitch up. Smash my bitch up.
I also didn't realize at the end of one of the tracks, she goes, I'm tired.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently at the end of the Jimmy Eat World song that she did, which we never listened to in its entirety, she completely runs out of steam.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to listen
So,
to that.
all right, well, enjoy, Christian. Congratulations. And seriously, in all seriousness, hopefully it wasn't too much of a struggle for you to listen to 4 hours of the show today or whatever, but thank you for doing that. It means a lot to us. Appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
He's already tired, too.
He's gone. Got to take a break. When we get back, the show continues. You'll have more Coachella tickets coming your way later this afternoon with Kevin Ryder. I did not misspeak. He's back at KROQ. The great Kevin Ryder, 5 o'clock today. You'll win more Coachella tickets. We come back and wrap up. Nope, we still got more show to do. We'll come back with another hour of show after this.
KROQ. Guess who's back? What? Back again. Woohoo! Kevin's back.
Find that hard to believe.
Got no friends. Kevin's back, 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 KROQ, wow, 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 KROQ, wow, 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 wow.
She's
a spaghetti girl.
We've created a monster. Nobody listens to KROQ no more. They laid off everybody that was here. But if you want KROQ, this is what we'll give you. Mediocrity and Klein Alley. When he was last here, ratings dropped fast, a lot quicker than my stocks when he got locked out of KROQ's kitchen. Guess what? Kevin's back. Na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Fix your Bentatana tuna, turn it up a little. You waited this long, never say never. Kevin's back and introducing the Red Hot Chili Peppers. We gave him a job, a new endeavor, but he ain't too smart and he ain't very clever. So the FCC just lets him be, cause they cannot understand what he's saying. They tried to shut him down, ha 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 he. We put Kevin back on the frequency. Well, we tried to reach out to Bean, but he wouldn't return our calls, you see, cause we're all bankrupt. Odyssey, and put Kevin back on the frequency. Well, we need a little controversy, so everybody just follow our lead and pretend you are kind of happy that Kevin's back on the frequency. KROQ, what did we do? What did we do? KROQ.
That song ended. That ended. So now we're going to talk. That's over. That is over. You dumbass.
Kevin Ryder's back. Weekdays from 3 to 7 on KROQ.
Lola Young, KROQ, what are you and Omar cackling about in here? I leave the room for 15 seconds to
Oh,
come
my
back.
God.
You guys are having a good old time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this has actually been something that's been in the works for, I think, a week or two now, and it
great.
was worth the wait. Omar, do you want to do the honors? Because I heard this on an episode of a true crime show that I was watching, and I thought, well, this has some sound bites in it that I know Omar, the audio sniper, could do a lot with. And, man, you delivered.
Thank you. So Klein, Allie sent me a clip of is it a podcast or is it a TV show?
It's Dateline.
Oh, it's a Dateline. Okay,
Dateline
so
NBC.
So there's this audio, and Klein is the guy who, in the show, is
He's a person
suspected
of interest at first, yes.
at a murder, right, in a murder case. And the audio, I felt like I could insert our own Klein into it and create a scene.
Yeah, great.
And,
just play it. All right, blah,
I think
blah.
it came out pretty
That's
good.
fine. Just play
Klein,
it.
before you
That's
get
fine.
upset, he didn't end up being the killer. He just ended up being a pervert.
That's right.
Great.
That's true.
But he had almost exactly your name.
Win for me. I feel great. Thank you. I remember when you played the clip of this at the beginning. His name was what was Calvin?
His
Klein?
name was Kegan.
Kegan
Yeah,
Klein.
Kegan
Klein.
Klein.
Sounds cool.
All right, great. Get ready for world premiere now. This is just some of Omar and his audio sniping at its finest. And
Yeah.
apparently, according to Allie's reaction, I saw, boy, it's good.
Who is Klein?
Klein is the person that will solicit girls to send them pornographic photos.
Oh, that is dirty.
Klein was a big, overweight,
I'ma eat it all. Yummy, yummy, yummy.
not somebody that these girls would talk to kind of person, so he changed who he was.
I'm a handicap.
Not long after that Peeping Tom incident, law enforcement raided Klein's home.
Well, I don't know.
He's a bad guy. He's a pathological liar. He would tell us something we'd look into and it'd be a lie. He lied a lot.
Hey, don't mind me. I'm just a young boy.
Klein seemed to have a strong alibi that he was in Vegas at the time of the murders.
Yeah.
When Court TV's Barbara McDonald learned Klein was in jail, she contacted him.
Man, I am horny now.
What happened?
He talked to me. He gave me an interview from jail. So, are you aware that there's a bunch of news stories out there linking you to the Delphi murders?
I don't have no
Okay.
thought.
You have admitted that you created this fake profile, Anthony Schatz. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Why did you create that profile?
I groomed a young boy.
But when it came to contact with Libby, Klein seemed evasive.
Are you aware whether you may have talked to Libby? Where were you on February 13th, 2017?
I like to smell parts of my girlfriend.
Did you have anything to do with the murders of Abby or Libby?
Me, such a bad boy.
And in the end, investigators couldn't prove he killed Abby and Libby.
We conducted a thorough investigation and ruled him out.
Another dead end.
Another dead end.
I'm boned up. I am boned up.
Klein would eventually plead guilty to 25 charges. He was sentenced to 40 years in prison.
Are you ready for the rear end? Okay, thank you. Great. What a wonderful tribute. Thank you, Omar.
You're welcome.
That was everything I could have imagined and more.
Star of Dateline. It
I
was
love
great.
the question answer section.
Can people with my name stop committing terrible crimes and giving
25 crimes.
25 crimes?
40 years in prison.
It's good to know that if I ever do get accused of doing any crimes, I'm just going to mumble instead of answer. right, well played. That'll be
I'm a young boy.
instant hit. Shout out Omar, the audio sniper. OMG, this is everything. Wow.
Hashtag date Klein NBC.
Praise pouring through all over the text line for the great Omar Khan. I'm going to go rethink my alibi. And also, Vegas does sound fun right about now.
Yeah.
KROQ.
Klein Alley. Klein Alley Show.
KROQ, the world famous KROQ. KROQ.
Get your flowers pouring through on the text line. People saying, well done, audio sniper. That's why he's the best. That's just a... that's
So
not
many people
me.
with suggestions of other sound clips to use, too, which is great. 831 Omar, at the end of the clip where he gets sentenced, you also should add his puppy noises.
We don't need any more. It's fine as it is.
Yeah.
He was sentenced to 40 years in prison.
Are you ready for the rear end? We don't need to add more sounds to it. It's fine.
714, oh my God, I fell off my chair. 949, I can't stop laughing. Kudos to Omar. Take notes, Jake.
Let's not forget
early
about
nomination for Song of the Year.
Not a song. and let's not forget for a moment, before we give all this glory to Omar, who's the guy that said all the dumb things during the story over the many years. Me.
Yeah,
you're trying to now take credit for this?
That's right. I didn't realize the audience would like it so much.
But who is an idiot
Right.
first? Me. That's who. And who is a pervert? The other Klein.
Yeah, let's not get confused here. I know there's new listeners don't understand that was a lot of clever editing, and they think that that's a real story. Oh, Klein was on Shark Tank and on Dateline? Wow. I was not on Dateline. That was a different guy with a different name and a different spelling, I believe. And Omar just got real clever with his
No, it wasn't different
witchcraft.
spelling.
Well, whatever. He did some sort of weird audio witchcraft and made me look like a real deviant.
Oh, well,
And I am a
Kegan
deviant.
Klein was the focus, but you're the star.
No, we're not playing it again. People demanding
We are
an encore.
absolutely playing that
I
again.
think it's been deleted, the file.
310, I'm at my desk stealthily watching the live stream.
All
And I'm
right.
so glad I got to hear that at work. 310, OMFG, I'm crying. Stop, guys. I got to drive straight. This isn't safe.
Well, it's not real, so just understand that I did very few of those things. I mean, that guy sounds like he was living a fun life. I'll be honest, a little jealous. Went to Vegas and whatever, but...
Well, having watched the actual episode, I can say that you are much more attractive than Kegan Klein.
Thank you. I'll take that as a win. right, it's K-Rock. We are Klein Alley Show. There's a lot going on in the world, but let's focus on the most important part of the world, which is not radio, sadly. It's TV. And the amount of time you will spend in front of a screen is continuing to grow higher and higher and higher. And yet, a lot of times you go, I wasted 3 hours and I don't even like what I was watching. So that's why every once in a while, when we try to break it down as to something you could watch this weekend, if you have some downtime, maybe you're going out, getting ready. Sure, there's sports, a lot of sports to watch. You got March Madness action, but maybe there's a show that you came across.
UCLA is doing
UCLA women's in the Final Four. Very exciting. So there's a lot of
Women
stuff.
don't count.
Hey, Allie, I don't agree. And I'm sorry to the UCLA Bruins, Lady Bruins. I don't feel that way.
Sorry, Lady Bruins.
Allie is, and by the way, offensive, Allie, to the players for sure. But please do not say anything offensive to the coaches of that team.
Women should not be coaching because they are less physically strong and unable to judge what athletes should be doing.
Well, for those of you that have just come back to K-Rock.
These are quotes out of context and not my actual views.
So I take that.
That's a problem.
That is Allie's impression of women's basketball. I don't like it. I don't stand by it, and congratulations, Lady Bruins, for making it to the Final Four. Let's get into Weekend Watchers. Here we go.
And now it's time for Weekend Watchers.
All right. I was going to come on here and tell you how much I'm enjoying this Temptation Island show. What a concept on Netflix. I guess that's an old show that was around for a while. And
You're
then
a real reality show whore, aren't you?
Well, I'll tell you, speaking of whores, let me tell you the concept of this show. They take these couples that are in relationships and they want to prove that they can not be tempted by the opposite sex. So they basically go to this island and all the women move into a house with a bunch of single, like, ripped dudes.
Oh, this is my hotel situation.
It's kind of like
in
your
Vegas.
hotel situation, only with really attractive people.
Oh.
And then the single guys move into this house with all these, like, women running around in bikinis. And they're trying to prove the point that they can be faithful throughout all this temptation. But by, like, the end of the first episode, every guy has cheated.
Really?
Yeah, and all the women are just going, I hope my
man stays faithful.
It's just like the funniest experiment because it fails so terribly. Like, I think
So when they all cheat on the first episode, then where are the rest of the episodes?
they got to build drama and do some other stuff. But I'm not going to talk about that show because that show's, as you said, it's just mindless, mind-numbing, whatever. On Apple TV, I think it's one of the greatest shows, if not the greatest comedy show in the last 10 years. And I'm only 2 episodes in. It's called The Studio with the great Seth Rogen.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
And of course,
show.
he's the star of it. But that Ike Barinholtz is so effing funny. And that guy's in a bunch of stuff. It's
it's hilarious.
He's funny in everything. He's one of those guys. I don't know. There's nothing against Rogen. He's very, everyone knows Seth Rogen's the best. There's something about this Ike Barinholtz guy that in anything he's in, he just makes me laugh. Even just standing on the side, not even speaking, his reactions are funny. He's so funny. But this is a Hollywood show. This is like a love for L.A. show, which I like because I think a lot of shows are ripping on L.A. And sure, they do make fun of the movie industry a lot. But it's on Apple TV. It's called The Studio. I laughed out loud.
It's about like a major streaming studio trying to make a movie, right?
It's a studio trying to compete in the modern day world where you're trying to still be a cool, powerful movie studio, but understanding that you're competing with the Netflixes of the world and everything else. And the cameos, you got a Scorsese you got great cameos throughout.
Nice.
If you think about when Entourage first started, when Entourage started, I did not live in LA, but by the end of Entourage, I was living in LA. And even though that life did not resemble my life in any way, shape, or form, it was a proud show, I think, for people, even though it was, people looked at it with envy. And I think this is a similar sort of show. So that's my pick, Apple TV Studio.
2 very different shows. You're right.
And when you're done with that, then Temptation Island.
Go back to Temptation
Netflix.
Island. So I've been watching a couple things. I watched Silo on Apple TV, which was fantastic. But the one that I want to recommend is a show called Adolescence on Netflix.
The Murder Kid.
Just took mine.
Really? Isn't it great?
It's awesome. It's really great.
I can't believe you're allowed to watch that at your house because there's accents.
Well, actually, we use subtitles.
They're speaking English, though.
I know, but you can't understand.
Yeah.
Like, what are they saying? I don't know. I got to use the subtitles. And they say stuff fast. I don't know. They're like, stop questioning me.
I thought your wife had a strict no accent policy at your house.
Well, it's loose because it's murder.
Oh,
and also it's like Northern England, so it's kind of like funny, it's not funny show, but their accents are kind of funny, and there are some funny moments. But it starts with this 13-year-old boy getting arrested for murder, and the whole first episode is one continuous shot. So it takes him from the house to the police station to him getting booked to the interrogation room. Everything is one continuous shot. Every episode is only one continuous shot.
Yeah.
The second episode is at the school, et cetera, and they just investigate different parts of this murder. And it's just a crime show that is told in a completely different way, and it just makes you think about family dynamics and online bullying and all
the
kinds of
acting
different.
in it is
incredible.
superb. Yeah.
Oh, it's not reality. It's real.
Oh, sorry, and they're all on an island.
Oh, cool. Adolescence Temptation
They're
Island.
all wearing bikinis.
I like that. That's good.
Solid show.
Vanessa, what are you watching? Let me guess. Reruns of New Girl.
No, I'm actually watching something new.
Ooh.
It's a Spanish.
New Girl.
Okay. All right, it's not that funny. So,
It's in Spanish? What you watching?
from Spain.
Okay.
It's called The Ladies' Companion, but in Spanish it's Manual para Señoritas, and it's about a chaperone that has to. It's a period drama comedy.
Okay.
Just so you know, that's why there's a chaperone. This chaperone was hired to get this guy's daughters married, and then at the end of it, like, obviously the girl chaperones his daughters, and then there's this guy that she likes, but that's the guy that's gonna be the guy for the daughter. I know I'm doing a good job at explaining this, so I want to move on. And then the next one is Survival of the Thickest, Season 2. Very funny.
Survival of the Thickest?
The Thickest, yeah. Thick.
Were you saying
curvy.
that Chaperone stars in this?
No, chaperone.
You're a pink pony girl.
I'm going to watch that.
That's a clip of the show.
Oh, a show about Chapel Roan. That's interesting.
It's a period
Did you
drama.
guys understand me?
No.
It's about Chapel Roan on her period. No,
yeah,
we got it.
We got it. Loud and clear.
All right. What
All
about
right.
you, Jake?
I've been rewatching since the updated the new cast for the X-Men movies. I started watching the X-Men movies in a row, starting with the original X-Men in 2000, and now I'm up to X-Men Days of Future Past from 2014.
Is that Superbox still working for you?
Yeah, the only one I couldn't find is the third one, which I just bought on Blu-ray. It's coming in the mail.
Oh
like
my
today.
God, Jake!
Jesus
Why are you
Christ.
wasting your money on Blu-ray?
It's only like $3.
This guy's crazy.
Oh my
I
God!
gotta watch it. I gotta watch the third one. I can't miss one of the movies.
It's kind of amazing we all work on the same morning show every day, and yet our tastes and the way we live our lives couldn't be any more different.
Seriously,
he's
what we choose to do.
Just wild. All right, well, that about sums it
Also,
up.
the Wolverine from 2013 isn't very good.
All right, Johnny wants everyone to know that he's not watching anything because he can't figure out how to operate his TV, which we saw earlier today. All right, let's give you this from the Chili Peppers. So it looks like, guys, I haven't heard back from the lawyers yet, and I don't. The piercer is
You're
not.
saying 5 minutes before we end the show that the piercing is probably not happening.
Oh, look, Vanessa had the piercer on standby. The guy was going to come in this hour, so I don't want to let the audience down. But the reality is, I will have to go get pierced. So if I don't do it here, we'll have to go to the shop and do it. The question is, do we do it this weekend, or do we want to do it during the show next week sometime? We're all leave in the middle of the show and get pierced. We got to make our decisions. I know. I'm disappointed too. We'll think about it. We'll come back. We'll wrap things up. We'll do the weekend song. We'll do takeaways. Potentially, just for maybe to keep everyone happy for the time being. Allie can shove a paperclip in my nipple or something.
Oh, I didn't know that was an option.
We'll figure it all out next right here on KROQ. Thank you, Chili Peppers. Klein Alley Show is going to come to an end for now, but fear not, because you got an exciting day here on KROQ. And yeah, some people just texting in now saying, are the rumors true? And the rumors are very true. Kevin Ryder is back on KROQ. And it's very exciting. We didn't think it would happen. At least I didn't think it would happen. I don't think he thought it would happen. Omar definitely didn't think it would happen. Omar, we had conversations on and off the air for years. You said, no way, no how.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Omar said he bet his firstborn child on it. So,
but also, the powers that be that made all the bad decisions are no longer here.
That's
so
true.
that's a huge difference.
A lot of terrible people are no longer here. So, and some good people came back, and there's no better person out there than Kevin Ryder. So he's back on KROQ. You can catch him in the afternoon, starting at 3:00 every afternoon. And today he's got Coachella tickets for you. We'll continue to give you more Coachella tickets next week. We're still back doing live shows next week, Coachella tickets for you, and I think we got some Anaheim Ducks tickets to give you as well. Any word on the Tom Segura stuff, Vanessa, or was I not supposed to talk about that yet?
No confirmation, but it's most likely going to happen.
Great. Love that confidence. So lots of reasons for you to check out the show next week. If you need us in the meantime, we got the GOAT line open for you all weekend long, 844-956-GOAT. Slide in our DMs, Klein Alley Show. You can find us there. The nipple is still not pierced, but it will not be forgotten. Trust me, no one around here is going to let me forget about it.
Never forget.
I think the good news is one of the lawyers is about to go on vacation, and I think we'll just do it the week he's on vacation. I think he's going on spring break.
He'll probably come back with a pierced nipple, too.
Probably will. I heard he's a wild guy. That's the problem.
He probably already has his nipples pierced, then.
It's possible. They probably can't even say that. He'll probably sue us for slander. Takeaways from today's show. What do we got?
909, my takeaway is the funniest planet is Pluto, and the sun is a planet.
Yeah, we learned that during Johnny Doesn't Know. Another eye-opening round of stupidity.
818, my takeaway is Klein is a pervert.
Hey, listen, I can't get a Swedish exchange teacher, not student, that'd be weird, but a Swedish exchange teacher because I accidentally sent an email to the wrong group of people.
562, my takeaway is Chapel Roan has period drama.
She does seem like she always does, though, right?
Probably.
Let's be honest.
949, my takeaway is it's better to risk your marriage than share a room with Allie. And 818, my takeaway is whatever you do, hold your chicken.
Gotta hold your chicken. We learned about That's what it sounds like.
That's fine. Just hold your chicken. I'm not going to hurt your chicken.
Oh, man, ain't that the truth. You got a takeaway from today's show, Jake the Nerd?
Yeah, all it takes is two people from Palmdale to confuse Klein.
You got two people on the phone from Palmdale. And to be fair, one of them was from Pomona and one was from Palmdale.
Yeah.
And it confused me. And they're not even from the same place.
No. It was just two that started with a P.
Good job, man.
Almost derailed the whole show. Hey, listen, Kevin Ryder's rubbing off on all of us. That's a real Kevin Ryder move right there.
And it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. That's a Hall of Famer. So if he can rub off on us, that's great for us. What is your takeaway, Omar Khan?
I let you hot. Show him what I got.
I've just been itching to play that. That's
Thank you.
it.
Great takeaway.
Sound like a cheap whore.
Hey, Allie, you got a takeaway from today's
My
show?
takeaway is we're 100,000 light years away from Earth.
That's right. So far, but it feels so close. All right, have a great weekend. We'll do it next week. Try to do it better. Here's your weekend song, the official anthem to get you into the weekend. Turn it up loud, windows down. Tag us in any footage you recorded this so we can repost, regram, and here we go.
You guys need to do more better.
Acid farts.
Bonkers. Right and right is wrong is wrong. She is wrong.
Just look at the size of that burrito.
Monday, Tuesday. No one cares about Wednesday. Thursday. Forget that noise. Are you ready for the weekend? What? Are you ready for the rear end? Are you ready for the weekend? Are you ready for the rear end? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, trash. Thursday, Friday, forget about that. Friday, Saturday, Saturday, Sunday, sleeping in, eating brunch.
Good evening, brother.
I like it. Thank you, lady.
Please, sir.
Hit
the beach or hit the mall. Go out with friends, do nothing at all.
Come on.
Sleep in, watch movies, read books.
Come on.
Just take them all. Are you ready for the weekend? Yeah. Are you ready for the rear end? Go. Are you ready for the weekend? Yeah. Are you ready for the rear end? Go. Are you ready for the weekend? Yeah. Are you ready for the rear end? Go. Are you ready for the weekend? Yeah. Are you ready for the rear end? Go. Are you ready for the weekend? Yeah. Are you ready for the rear end? Go.
Acting stupid. What's happening? Bitch, wow.
Pepper me timbers. We struck buried.